That's what I forgot last time. I forgot to record last time, and that's why it was kind of horrible.
So, yeah, last time was it all going off just like the camera audio then?
Long story short, the third guest I had brought his microphone, and luckily his microphone caught all of us at once.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, so it worked out. How does that sound?
It sounds good.
All right.
I mean, compared to me never doing this before.
No,
I mean,
for real.
I hear myself when I hear you.
Yeah. Okay, you hear yourself?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Everything on? Can you hear yourself?
Yes, I can.
Okay. All right.
Okay, let's do it. I think I'm gonna rock without him.
He said this is gonna mess me up.
Yeah, it is. It does sound kind of crazy. Like it sounds like I don't know, like I'm in like an Xbox Live party or something.
No, for real. That's the chat. Okay, I think
that'd be hilarious
that
to
works for
do
me.
like a live stream of this and have like a TV right here and just seeing like people
Bro,
say and stuff all the time.
I'm
That'd
telling
be
you,
fun.
that's what I want to do. I want to put a TV right here, but it's not in the budget.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get there.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's recording. The camera is recording, and we're off.
Let's do it.
I'm gonna go like that.
Yeah, I'm assuming it has to be closer to me.
You can
than I believe.
push on this joint,
Uh-huh.
and then yep. it'll
Okay,
come
there we
closer.
go.
And 6 to 8 inches,
Yeah.
Keep it in that range.
Okay.
You know where that is.
Yeah.
So.
Shut up.
All right, that does sound pretty good, and it's recording. I just really that traumatized me
Yeah.
last time.
No, it's all good.
The other thing I like or I want to do with the podcast is make sure it's very like open, real. So like if you have anything you're trying to look up, it's like take your time, bro. There's no rush. If you're like, oh wait, I saw this video, it said something, you can take minutes. But well, welcome to the second episode of the Village Podcast, and today I have my guest. Do you want me to say your name?
No, I'll go ahead. I'm Chad Bean. Just moved here a couple months ago and got to know TJ.
Yep. And we met through barbering. So I'm a barber, if you didn't know that. And what I try to do with barbering and podcasting together is like get a little prospecting going, you know? So like I have a cool conversation and I kind of just gauge the person. Oh, do they like to talk? Are they okay in a conversation? And then honestly, I really believe that everyone has a story worth telling. They have a lot of good experiences. So I think all I look for when I kind of prospect for the podcast is, do we vibe? Is he okay talking? Like when a thought hits them, they're willing to say it. Even if I'm like in conversation, like, oh yeah, and this, like I'm okay with that because I do it a lot. So.
Yeah, and one thing that I originally noticed about you was that first off, I feel like the best like conversationalists are like first off like really good listeners and like are really good at not like jumping on what somebody's saying or like trying to like they're not just like listening to talk, but they're listening to like understand.
Yeah.
And so I don't know, whenever I'm just like talking to random people, that was just one thing I noticed about you originally. Like I was like going off on some random tangent and you seem like actually very interested and like very like you're like taking it in. And I was like, oh, like that's like kind of refreshing for once. Like finally somebody who can like, I don't know, who's a good conversationalist and who knows how to talk. And I don't know if it's just from, you liking podcasts as much as I do, but like me and you both listen to probably so many podcasts that like I don't know, maybe have like a little better understanding of like what a good dynamic looks like and stuff like that.
And I think with that is the barbering. I actually don't watch a lot of podcasts.
Oh, really?
I don't. Yeah, I don't watch a lot of podcasts, but the barbering opened my eyes to what I enjoy doing. I like talking to people. I like hearing where they're coming from or just like their life. And I think that's what connected me to the podcasting was like, damn, I really enjoy cutting hair as a job. Like it's a job. At the end of the day, it's not gonna always be fun, but it doesn't feel like I dread it every day. But what I enjoy the most that keeps me going is like being able to talk to people, see how they're doing, and have some wild conversations about conspiracy theory or things they're into, what they like to talk about, that kind of stuff. So then that's what got me into podcasting. And I learned recently through being married that I do need to listen more. So
yeah, maybe that's the trick, is you just have to get married.
Yeah, no, because I definitely, my wife would tell me, like, you need to start letting people finish their sentences, listening more. And so I took that and tried to practice it at work. Like every conversation, okay, before, let me try and take in what they're saying. Let me respond instead of react.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like, okay, let me hear what they're saying, try to understand. And every time I get the urge to like interject and say something that I think is cool,
Mm-hmm.
maybe it's the ADHD thing or something, but whenever I hear something that like really piques my interest that someone says, I kind of grab onto that.
Mm-hmm.
So now I'm just learning how to like let them finish and then kind of integrate into the conversation like a good stopping point or something. So
yeah, and I've tried to be like more cognizant of that too, because I feel like half the time, and I found myself always like jumping out like in on what somebody's saying, because like I think of something and I don't want to lose it, so like let me get this, and I want to get it out so bad. Bad, and I have like half the time, like whatever I'm about to interject is like gonna derail the like half of what they're saying, or maybe like what they're about to say is exactly what I'm about to say. So it's like,
and I've caught myself doing that, like where I'm about to say it and then I let them finish and then they say it and I'm like, oh yeah,
I'm like, oh, we are on the same page, and I don't
have on the same frequency.
We're on the same page, and I don't have to ruin this conversation. It's so nice.
Yeah, well, I guess to start, like, why did you get into the field that you're trying to get into? Like, what is it specifically again that you do?
Okay, yeah. So I'm trying to do this thing called perfusion, and it's kind of a funny story how I got around to it. So first, originally when I started going to college, I really didn't know what I wanted to do, and so I was just kind of taking like random business classes. So I was taking business 101, finance, accounting, and all that stuff.
Marketing.
Yeah, like marketing, and I was a marketing major, and I was just like doing it, just kind of like doing the bare minimum, like just let me pass this class and like let me go out, and just let me go, and which is like honestly sometimes like a fine way to do it. Like if you honestly want a business degree, and like you don't really have to get all straight A's. So I was like, I really took advantage of that. I'm like, I'm gonna do the bare minimum, and I'm gonna go like hang out and have a good time in college. And so that's what I was doing for my first like year and a half at school, and then COVID happened, and we all got kicked out. So I was going to BYUI, and we all got kicked out.
What do you mean you got kicked out?
So COVID happened. I was staying in the Cedars, and I'm pretty sure, and I may be wrong, but I'm pretty sure the first case of COVID in Idaho was in the Cedars, like my apartment complex. Oh, wow. And so it was like the apartment above us, and like the managers came up to us and were like, hey, like somebody tested positive for COVID here, and this is like really early on, and they're like, we don't know like how this works, like we don't know like does the CDC come, like we don't know like who.
So the FBI is gonna show tomorrow.
Literally, like we had no clue. There was like very little like cases in the States at that point, and so they're like, you just don't leave your apartment. Yeah. And so we're like that's awesome. Like so they literally said like do not go to class. Yeah. And so we're like, okay, sweet. So I had to email all my teachers, be like, I'm not coming to class. Like they told me not to, and they're like. And eventually that kind of became like campus-wide. They told everybody to stop coming. Okay.
Classes. So it wasn't like you got kicked out.
Yeah, no, so I didn't get kicked out.
I was like, dang.
No, that would be probably a much more interesting story.
Nah.
But cool. So they basically just told everybody to go home. Okay. And so we all took like passing grades, like they gave us everybody P grades, and I went home, started work. I did like a marketing internship, and I did it. And I was just so unbelievably miserable. And I was like, dude, it wasn't even hard work. It was the easiest work I've ever done. But I was like, dude, this is just so like mind-numbingly boring. Like,
it was probably exhausting too.
It was mentally exhausting how little work I had to do. Like I didn't feel busy. And so like I was just sitting like on my computer, like in like a little Snuggie at home, like in my childhood room, just like typing on a computer. I'm like, this cannot be like my life. Like there's no way I can keep doing this.
I kind of went through the same thing. I think that's why I dropped out of school originally, because I switched my major 6 times or like 5 times. I went from business management, same thing, and then I went from business management to business accounting, and then marketing, then communications, then psychology was the last one. And I think the question I asked myself was, could I wake up and do this for 20 years straight every day, or like, a basic 40 hours? And that scared me because my answer was no. So I dropped out of school.
Yeah. And I was having that very similar experience, and I was like, and luckily I'm really close with my dad, and he he's always been in sales, and he's done sales, and so like my sister does sales now, or she did sales for a little bit. So he's like, just try sales maybe. And so I tried doing sales, and I hated that too. Mm-hmm. Even though I was making like more money than I've made in my entire life. Yeah. Like I was doing
sales, I was doing.
I mean, yeah. And so I was making all this money, and I was still like, dude, this sucks. Like even if I am making more money than like I know what to do with, like and living at home, I'm eating my parents' food. I was like 20 at the time. It was so nice, and I was just like, man. Even like with all this stuff, like I'm still miserable. Yeah. Like this is not good. I was like, and this is when I was really starting to get into like more like intellectual podcasts too. Mm. And I was like really trying to like, I was finding that I have like a little bit more of an interest in like the higher, I don't know what you call it, like higher education.
Okay. Yeah.
And so I was like, you know what, maybe I could be like an engineer or something. Yeah. And so I like met with some counselors, and they're like, no, you can't be an engineer. Like you're too deep. Like, no, they told me yeah, they're like, don't do it. And so I was like, okay, well, I guess I'm not going to be an engineer. But now like thinking back and like doing all the math of like all my credits, I totally could have done that. But I'm still happy with the way I went. But so basically
that's one of those tender mercies.
Yeah. And so this is how it kind of worked out was there was a guy in my ward who was, he was a physician assistant.
Oh, okay.
PA. And so it's basically like one level lower than a doctor. Okay. So it's like doctor, PA, nurses, and kind of a little way down. But PA, and I just walked up to him in church one day, and I was like, hey, man, I think you have like the coolest job. Or people here tell me that you have like a really cool job. My dad tells me you have a really cool, interesting job, and I have no clue what I want to do. Mm-hmm. And I was like, can I just like come to your work and shadow you and just like see what you do and see if that's something that I could do one day? And he's like, yeah, absolutely. And so I went and shadowed him. I thought he had the coolest job ever. Yeah. I was like, whoa, this is like
as a physician assistant?
Yeah, as a physician assistant. I was like, whoa, this is really cool. And he introduced me to another physician assistant, and I shadowed him, and that guy had an even cooler job. He was an orthopedic one, so I got my first chance to go into like an operating room and like see surgeries. And I was like, and once I got into the operating room, I was like, now this is where I want to be. Like, it was like a spark, you know what I mean? Like I was like, oh my gosh, I found something. Like, I was so excited.
Had an epiphany.
No, I had it. Yeah, I couldn't believe it, and so I was super pumped that I was like, oh my gosh, I actually feel like motivated to like go do this. So, COVID lasted a little bit longer, but eventually I went back to school, changed my degree to biology, and then I got a degree in biology from BYUI. You know, like 2 years later, and now I've been how I found perfusion. Sorry, this is long-winded.
Bro, you gotta just go with it. Yeah. Don't worry.
And so the way I found perfusion was it's kind of like really popular in like the LDS space because the prophet was he was a cardiac surgeon. Okay. And so perfusion has a lot to do with cardiac surgeries, heart surgeries. Okay. And so basically the idea of a perfusionist is when they're working on the heart, you have to shut it down. You have to like rid it of blood. It can't be pumping, while a surgeon's trying to work on it. It would be impossible. And so what you have to do is you have to shut it down. But obviously your brain still needs blood and your limbs still need blood. Like you'll die without it. Yeah. So you basically have to put a bypass in around the heart. So you put a tube going, into the body, a tube coming out of the body, and then a giant machine, that sits in front of me, and you basically are just oxygenating, monitoring temperatures, monitoring, gas blood indexes, and just basically making sure I'm keeping you alive while the surgeon, works on your heart.
Doing his duty.
Yeah, and so that's basically the role of a perfusionist. Now, they also do some other things like other surgeries, or I know they're starting to get into like some of this, like if somebody, were to die and like they're going to like transplant their like their liver or something, like it's really healthy to keep blood flowing through that liver until it gets to the next person. So it's like I think they're getting, and this is like, I'm pretty sure like a newer thing, but they're like plugging in basically a blood machine. I don't know what you'd call it. And they usually call it the heart and lung machine. Yeah. When you're doing cardiac surgeries, but you just hook it into your liver, run blood through your liver until it gets transferred to the next person. You know what I mean? And it probably has a much higher success rate and much healthier liver than one that's rid without blood and probably just like stuck in a freezer for like a couple hours. But so that's what I've been trying to do. I applied last year. I didn't get in, and I'm applying again this year.
How does that work? Like, if you meet the qualifications with your grades and all that, how do you not get in? Is it a numbers game?
It's a little bit of a numbers game. It's a super niche field, and so a lot of these class sizes are anywhere from like 3 people to like, I think the biggest one's like 40, but like a lot of them like average are like 7 to 8 like people in this thing taken every year, and so it's pretty competitive. In fact, like in that there's very little people that they take every year, but I think they only get maybe like 100 to 150 applications a year. So it's again around that like 10 to 20, or probably more around like 10% chance. Oh, damn. Like they accept like 10% of the 10% of the people, but again, going back to like being a business major, I really screwed myself early on and like tanked my GPA
because you were just more focused on passing.
Yeah. And so I definitely didn't do myself any favors. I still have like a competitive enough GPA to get in, but like it's just like getting drugged. It's just like so heavily weighted by all these like stupid classes that I took and that I got like C's and B minuses in, even that like just drag your grades down. So like, dude, I was so stupid. I was so stupid.
But you're also young trying to figure it out. So it's not like you had someone being like, no, this is what you need to do. You're going to be a perfusionist. Yeah. You're like, oh, I'm going into business. I don't need anything.
Yeah, like I'll get a C and be like, sweet, I passed. Like I did this dumb thing where what I would do is I would try to get like an A in a class. I would get an A and then I would not take the final. That was always my goal for my classes, is I did not want to take finals. And so what would you
do if they had like you have to pass the final to pass the class?
Well, then I would just have to take it. But like for some reason that wasn't really a big thing for like most of my classes. I didn't take so many finals because I would get A's and I did like in not hard classes, not take the final.
Bros over here dropping dimes, they're gonna be like,
dude,
okay,
but then like going from like an A to a C plus and being like, why does that even matter? Like it doesn't matter to me.
Yeah,
like
you still pass.
I still pass. I'm still moving on. Like I get to the next class, like I'll never think about this class again. Yeah. But then cut to like a couple years later, I'm like, I cannot believe I did that. Like that's the dumbest thing I could have ever done. But basically my pitch to all these schools has basically been just like, look at my last like 60, 80 credits of all these science classes. Like I can do it.
Basically like, the classes that matter, you took serious.
Exactly. Yeah. These are all the classes. And like, that's what I have to like convey in like a personal statement that I, wrote up and revised a million times, is like, how do I convey how dumb I used to be with how like reformed I am now? And like, and it's really hard to pitch because sometimes they just like, you can get written off so quickly. Like they see like a below average GPA and they're like, oh, he just can't do it. Yeah. Like why would like, we accept this guy over him?
He's trying so hard and this is as good as he can do. It's like we might as well take the other people that got straight A's. But you were calculated mediocre. You were just like, I'm mediocre because I want to be, not because I have to.
And so that's definitely hurting me. I just had a buddy last round get into perfusion school, so I was really pumped for him, but he had way better numbers than I did. And so I guess once one thing I know I won't do is I'm not gonna like just not do it. Like I know it will happen. It's just me being impatient and just like wanting it to happen now. Yeah. And so it's like I kind of expected not to get in last round, but this round I feel a little bit more competitive. I have a lot more hospital experience now. I have a lot more shadowing. I got a letter of recommendation from a perfusionist now, but like because before I only had professors, and so it's
is the only reason why it went that way is because you didn't know what you wanted to do.
Yeah.
Like if you knew you wanted to be a perfusionist from the beginning, you probably would be fine.
I would probably be in. I would probably be like graduated from perfusion school if I like the
already.
If I knew the moment I like started college I wanted to do perfusion, I would be graduated by now.
Dang.
I know, and it would have been it would be so nice.
It's something that would have.
I would have such little problems right now. No, that's not true. I know. I also can't play that game with myself where it's like once this happens, then like my life can start. Like that's like the biggest trip up like every like young adult has. So
no, I'm 27. I still do that. Oh, I'm probably gonna edit that out. I don't want people to know my
why.
Age. I don't know.
I'm 26.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
I'm 26 and I have no job and I can't even get a CNA job. It sucks,
That's
dude.
Tough.
I have a biology degree and I can't even get an entry level job in a hospital. That's what's crazy.
Crazy.
It's tough.
Why does it? Is there like go into that. I want to know.
I don't, dude. This is the new one for me. I can't figure out why. Like it seems like.
Is it more just like because they look at your grades, or is it Like what? Why? Like,
I don't think it's my grades. I think it's just a lot of what I think. I'm obviously qualified. Like I have the CNA and I have a biology degree. Like you should be able to get a CNA job. And I think anybody would say that. Like even if I talk to the recruiters, they're the big, you should be able to do this. But I think it's just they're not hiring or they're doing like internal hires and moving people around is what I'm suspecting.
And another part to that is probably what we're going through in the government and like all the politics and stuff that's happening right now. It's probably just something small like that that's being affected where they're not worried about. That's something that's not on their mind is hiring more people. Probably they're like healthcare might be like at risk, right? With like the government shutdown right now.
I mean, I guess I don't really understand the healthcare system that much. I would really wonder how many like subsidies they do get from the government and if that affects it. It could just be that it's, holiday season or something as simple as that, and maybe like I'm really overthinking it.
Yeah.
But there's tons of jobs out there. I'm being honestly a little bit picky too and like trying to get into the right like departments and stuff like that. So I just need to probably be less picky. So I'm self-reflecting a little bit. I have dude, I should have gotten a job by now, but I am I'm going to just, I have to just kind of take what I think it
probably, like you said, it's also that you're trying to make sure you get the job that you're not going to feel super exhausted mentally like you were when you were at that other, was that a class or a job that you had, the sales job?
Oh, yeah.
Do you think that you would feel like that if it wasn't the right job, or is it more just you are just being picky?
Well, in terms of, like, I guess it is kind of more like it's the right job because, I mean, I worked as, like, a transporter in a hospital, and I was, like, for the last year in San Diego, and we walk around, like, 15, like, there was days I was getting to, like, 22,000 steps, like, walking around all day.
In a day?
Yeah.
22,000?
Yeah, like, insane, like, walking, like, 10 to, like, 12 miles a day in a hospital.
In a hospital building.
Yeah.
You're walking 10 to 12 miles a day.
Yeah, and it's exhausting, but it wasn't as bad as sitting in front of my computer. Like
it wasn't as bad as selling my stuff.
Yeah, no, it wasn't as bad as calling people and selling them a product that I had no belief in. And pitching people on something that they absolutely do not need. Yeah. Like that to me is way worse.
I was the same. That's why I'm a barber now, cuz I was in like insurance sales. I don't know.
Dude, like health insurance or life insurance?
Yeah.
Oh, I did
selling
life insurance.
IULs, bro.
Dude, it literally took my soul. I was disappointed in myself every day.
Bro, that's crazy you did that. I did that too, like selling IULs and Roth IRAs under like certain codes that you could sell in an IRA or 403B. There's just like, I don't know, who'd you work for?
I worked for American Income Life, and I have no problem throwing them under the bus. They are a bad company, dude. They are borderline a scam company. Dude, it was so bad. Yeah. I hated working for them. I felt so scummy when I was doing it.
Yeah, I didn't feel scummy, but mine was National Life Group, and they, like, for me, it was just, it's that mental exhaustion, and I didn't know if I believed in the product because,
dude,
you can't see it. It's a future. Did you do like more retirement focused or like?
Dude, I think mine was like the worst. Like I think it was like whole life selling people like and. Dude, it was so bad because the way they do it is I don't know why, and I don't even know like the legitimacy of it, but it
was like I was doing this for years and I don't even know.
Well, I did it for probably like 6 months during COVID, and so what happened was they basically are somehow like linked with union workers, so like steel workers, like lumber workers, like I don't know, like people who work on like a port and stuff like that, and somehow this company is. Like, I don't know, they work with the unions and they provide them with their union benefits.
Yeah.
But that's what they say, but it's not really true. It's like we're almost like misleading them because you know how like everybody like if you work for a union you get good benefits. Everybody understands everyone that concept. That. And so they really take advantage of that and they tell you whenever you're like pitch like you call these people all day and you're like, "Hey, I'm with your, insurance thing through your union. Like, I'm here to set up your benefits."
And is that true?
It is true that we're contracted with it, but we're not their union's benefits. We're a contracted. It's like we're like one removed.
You're a third party contracted agency that's coming in and saying, "Hey, we're your union benefit. Mm-hmm. We're a company that's contracted by the union, but we're not saying third party and that you have everything already set up. We're just an extra." resource.
Yeah, basically is what it seemed like. And so we were so misleading, and like we didn't want to, like, you don't want to express that, because then it's like, no, well, I don't want anything additional. And like even like when like the pitch and the like script they give you is like telling them, like, like your union provides you like with the best benefits, like why would you want to go like look anywhere else for benefit? Like, it's like, why are we actually trying to help these people? And like, dude, in all the meetings,
I feel that. And you weekly meetings,
dude, yeah, like weekly or morning meetings when they're like, hey, we're like protecting people, and we're and we're helping people.
New product, it's like, oh, this new product is fire, this and that, and it's maybe like a little better than the one before, maybe the same, just like a different name. I went through the same thing, and honestly, I thought it was a me problem. I was going through a lot during that time. I stopped playing football. Football was my life in college. That's why I went to college, was like, oh, I can try and get a degree and play sports.
Where'd you play at?
The U, just for like under a year.
Okay.
Tore my ACL.
Oh, really?
Can do it. No, wasn't made for it.
What position did you play?
Wide receiver.
Oh, nice.
Now I look like a tight end, you know.
That's funny.
No, but yeah, so I ended up getting into it through my father-in-law, because they do it.
Yeah, well, dude.
But yeah, no, like I got it. I think you've got to have that grind mentality.
Yeah.
You got to have that
LFG in the chat, like type, like that kind of stuff, or like that sales guy.
Yeah, that
thing.
Provo bro, you know, like the summer
it.
sales vibe. And like, I'm not trying to say that I'm better or anything. I think I'm just different than someone that's a sales. Like, I'm not a sales guy. Like, I like to get to know people. I like to talk to people. So like, I would a lot of times get caught up in talking to them and having a random conversation, and then kind of, you know, have that little like review after, you know, talk about your meeting and going through the script. And it's like, kind of spend a little too much time in just random talks. Like, we need to, you know, stick kind of to the way that the session should go. And like, I got good at that, but it definitely felt, I don't know, it felt like I was performing, which is the reason why like I didn't want to do a podcast for a little bit or make videos, is because I didn't want to perform. I wanted to be me on camera, but I didn't want to feel like I'm trying to mislead anyone. I'm trying to just be me on camera.
Dude, yeah.
And that's why I started the podcast. It's like, I want to be able to be me, have conversations with people. And if people like it, people like it. If they don't, you can scroll, like, or not listen. Like, this is just supposed to be cool, real conversations with real people, and safe space to just talk, bro, you know? So like, I think that's where it went. It went from, dang, this is boring, I don't know if I can do this. But the football, the sports, the competitor in me was like, no, I'm going to just ride it out. So I did it for like 2 years, off and on, like 2 years. And then my wife had to tell me, like, just because this isn't for you, or you know, you don't want to do it, doesn't mean you're not good enough, or you're giving up. Because for some reason I was holding on to it. Like, I was barely making money, but like a six bands in one check in a week feels good. Dude, when you see like, oh man, I just made 12 racks.
Yeah.
But then
like and it's so funny because sales is like that. It's so fickle where you're like, you'll make a lot of money one week and you're like, I could literally do this the rest of my life. I want to do this every week. Like, this is so nice.
For real, hit your account and you're like,
yeah, you're like, I am the man. Yeah. And then like the next week you're like, you can't sell a thing. You're like, oh dude, I'm done.
Weeks.
Yeah, I'm done.
Yeah. Like, yeah. So yeah, that's what kind of just helped me let go of that and just try and find me, find myself, find what I want to do. I found barbering, and that was like a better and more established step forward for me in my development. And then now I'm hoping, you know, podcast is the way.
Yeah.
But
I mean, dude, honestly, I think the best advice I've ever been given was from my dad, and he just said, whatever thing, because I mean, I couldn't figure out what I wanted to do for the longest time, and he's like, just start wandering, just like you don't have to be so convinced in something to like go do it, like literally just wander. He's like, you want to do something in higher education, go and just do it, and don't have any expectation that this is an end goal. Like, you don't even have to have any end goal in sight. Like, when I started biology, like, I didn't know if there was PA, there's MD, there's DO, there's nursing, you can work in a lab, you can be a perfusionist. Like, you can be a nurse anesthetist. You can like, there's a million fields. He's like, but just wander in that direction, and it will start getting more clear as you go on.
Yeah.
And I didn't settle completely on perfusion until like my last 2 semesters. So I was like doing this for years with no really like concrete idea of how it's gonna work at the end. But like I just knew if I keep wandering in this direction, it became clearer and clearer, and I could start. And just as important as like finding what you want to do is finding exactly what you don't want to do. So I found early on, I was like, I really don't think I don't want to be a doctor. I found that out, and I was like, that's just way too much responsibility. It's way too much commitment. Like I want to have a life outside the hospital, and a lot of people who are in the biology department are, you know, sons and daughters of physicians or nurses and PAs and stuff like that. It's kind of like a weird like family thing where it's like my parents do this, I want to do this, but I guess that's with every field. But and they would tell me stories about how like, bro, like, I'm like don't see my dad ever. Like he's always at the hospital. He runs 3 clinics in dermatology. Like
I feel like that's why a lot of them don't they end up like getting divorced. Maybe
I mean, like the doctor like suicide rate is like through the roof. It's crazy. I mean, it's like it is a very stressful field.
Because you also have lives in your hands. Like you see death. Would you say often or occasionally?
It just depends on your field. If you're in dermatology, you're not seeing it very often. But there's different stresses. It's like maybe it's very mundane or.
But you're saying doctors on a broad scale under the umbrella have really high suicide rates?
I'm pretty sure. I mean, we can fact check it somebody. But I'm like I'm pretty sure that's like a common statistic I've heard people throw out. That's just like I guess like a common saying. But you know, there's like pros and cons to that. It's like I never get to see my dad or whatever. It's like, you know,
what did your dad do?
My dad, he did pharmaceutical sales for a long time. I mean, he's done a lot of. He's very similar to me, and he didn't know what he wanted to do. Like he wanted to be a chiropractor for a little bit. That was like a very popular thing when he was like a young adult. Like his brother became a chiropractor, and so he was thinking about doing that. And then he had kids, and then he's like, "Oh, I can't like go to chiropractic school anymore. Like I don't think that's a reality." So he just started working like random jobs, and like at one time like he was managing a hotel, and like him and like I wasn't born yet, but like my sisters were born, and so they're all just like, it was kind of like the Sweet Life of Zach and Cody, where they're like living in the hotel while managing it. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's
and
crazy.
So it was like he did that for a while, and then he did a bunch of random jobs, and then eventually he got into sales, and then eventually got into pharmaceutical sales. And I mean, once you have 4 kids, he's like, and he's told me, he's like, I never really loved it. He's like, He's like, I hate having a quota.
It's not the same thing as you with Perfusion.
No. And that's why I'm internally grateful for him. It's like he has set me up so well.
And you know, it's crazy that some parents they be jealous of their kids. Have you seen that? Like experienced that where like parents don't give their kids good direction because they want to see them succeed? I've seen that quite often where it's like maybe not that they're intentionally not trying to help them, but that they're not going out of their way to give them good advice as an adult that's experienced a lot. Like I've seen that happen. I don't know if you have, but
I've never seen people not give like good advice. I mean, I'm sure it happens.
Yeah,
like there's like bad parenting out there. Like that's
there's definitely bad parents.
There's bad parents out there. Like I got very lucky. My dad is like the coolest dude ever.
Yeah.
I love my dad so much. He's been so helpful in like getting me to where I am.
Shout out Chad's dad.
Brett Bean, you're the man, dude. He is the best. And so I can't remember where I was going. So he was doing sales, but he told me, he's like, dude, this life is like not it. Yeah. He's like doing this sales thing. He's like, I know you see me, and I like make a good living, and he's killed it. Like he's done really well for himself. And he's like, but this is like not the actual life you want to live. It's like it's so over the top stressful. It's like hitting a quota every month is like not what you want to do. Like if you have any interest outside of this, like pursue that over this. And so that's what he pushed me to do. And he's supported me like all along the way and giving me like good advice. And yeah, he's just like a very selfless person. Yeah. And so as much as like he's sacrificing like every single day, like trying to help me still get into perfusion school. Like today he's sacrificing, like he's working. He's like I said, I don't have a job in CNA right now. Like if I needed something, like my car window just got busted out. Like he's going to help me like take care of that. You know what I mean? Like he's going to fix my window for me.
That's what you're supposed to do for your kids.
Exactly. And that's like the whole point of like family in the first place. And that's I mean, he's like the oldest of, I believe, 6. He has 6 siblings.
So he's been kind of like a role model and like a dad to a lot of his siblings in a way too.
Yeah, exactly. And so like,
I mean, unless like his dad was really great, then like he didn't really have to do
well,
much.
my grandpa was a great dude too, and I never really got to know him. He died when he was really young, and so he died when I think he was like 50 or 51. And my dad was, I guess, like in his late 20s, or no, maybe early 20s. But yeah. So I don't know how my dad got that way. Like, I guess, I mean,
if you have
20 years, I guess, with your dad, you learn a certain way. But I never got to really know my grandpa. He died when I was 1 year old. So it's like, I would have loved to like really get to know him and understand how my dad got that way though. Because
have you talked to your dad about that at all? Like why he's like that?
No,
or like what experience?
Maybe I'll go home today and talk to him about it, because that is really interesting. Because yeah, that is like one thing about my dad specifically, is like his selflessness. Yeah. That is like so. And obviously he has flaws. My dad's not perfect in any way, shape, or form. My dad,
my dad's a human.
Yeah, my dad is definitely human, and he has his flaws, but he is definitely, if you're gonna put it on a scale, like if we're gonna put everybody's, I mean, I'm not gonna speak for everybody's dads, but if we're gonna put everybody's dads in out there, like I'm picking mine. I still want mine.
And that's how it should be, right? You should want to have your parents be your parents because they loved you and they did their best, whether they were perfect or not. I mean, yeah.
Well, go off.
No. I would pick my parents more because I love them, and I think my relationship with them is different. They did their best, and I appreciate everything my parents did. They weren't perfect, and they didn't have all the resources to be good parents, but at the end of the day, they didn't give up, and they did the best they could. And at that point, all you can do is appreciate the effort. Like, for a long time, I did hate my dad, like straight up.
Yeah,
I did. Like he wasn't the best dad, but there's probably worse dads out there. So, and there are worse dads than what my dad went through. But as a kid growing up, that's all I saw. So in my immature, childish mind, I was like, this is the worst dad ever. Like, I hate my dad. But as I've grown up and become a man, or I'm becoming and developing into a man and being a parent myself, I understand like, hey, parenting, that shit is hard.
Yeah.
Like, it's harder than I thought it would be. And I understand all the trauma that I have to go through, and that like, the way that the structural the system in my life of like trauma, and then passing on trauma, and then not passing on good skills, or being a financial support for, or getting that financial support from my parents, definitely put me in a hard spot to where like I had to figure everything out on the go, like failing forward. And as much as I was sad for a long time that like, dang, I don't get that support, it's like I can still look at the good things and be like, hey, at least they are still here, and they would try to give me everything that they have to help me. And now I'm just more like, hey, I hope that they can continue to grow. I think that's where I'm at with them. It's like, hey, I forgive them. I'm over my hurt with them. Like, obviously I might talk about it in my podcast here and there, but no, I do love them. Yeah, that's that.
Yeah, it's weird. Everybody obviously doesn't get dished the same cards.
And
that's what's so tough, and why I think like when we talk about, I know we talked about a lot about like those statistics and stuff like that that like people throw out there about like population, I don't know, dynamics and stuff like that, and you're like, I feel like numbers never really tell the whole story. It's like there's so
much nuance in statistics, and that goes into my thing with Charlie Kirk. I think I can stand firm in that I'm not trying to test whether he was good or bad. I'm not gonna say he was an evil person or anything. That's not my place. I'm not here to judge that, but I am going to take a look at like what he said, how he said it. Who was he protecting? Who was he like hurting? Or his words and how they're inflammatory. And it's funny how people are like, oh, words don't hurt, but in a way they do prepare a type of bias that might eventually lead to hurt and division. So like, that's my only thing with Charlie Kirk in essence is like, hey, you can if you rock with him, if he's your hero, like I'm not here to like disrespect you and like try and say you're wrong or you're bad for believing in him, but like we can always have a conversation of why, and I can tell you why in the best way I can. But like that goes into the statue. Like I don't know if we talked about that. Like
of them putting up the statue
yeah.
there, and I heard they're like doing like a petition or something with the students. Like
I was
taking
there.
it. Oh, really?
I saw like the protest. Oh, the petition protest is different, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So I saw the petition.
Yeah, so they had like like the students got a vote.
I mean, I saw
like,
the protest, and yeah. What were you saying though?
So yeah, they had. I'm pretty sure they had the students like sign something that's saying like, "What do you guys want one or do you guys not want one?" type of deal. And I think it was pretty like majority like do want one, but people are like, still like, is that right? Is like, should they build that? And
what's your take on that, bro? Like, if the answer was up to you, if the answer was up to you and you're the deciding factor, what are you choosing?
I think just for like pure, it's weird to not acknowledge it. It's such like a significant thing in history. Maybe it's just recency bias, but like it seems like it was such a big moment, and like UVU had nobody knew what UVU was before this happened.
No one knew what Utah was before.
Exactly, like nobody would have ever cared unless this event happened, and so I think like it would be kind of weird for the school to like that like area in the I don't know courtyard or whatever would be like so like ominous and weird. I feel like without being like, okay, we're acknowledging that this horrific thing happened right here. Like let's acknowledge it and like put something there.
And what is that? I guess my question is I don't disagree with that aspect of like putting something up, but I think it depends on how they do that. So like for you, what do you think suffices for like a memorial at UVU for Charlie Kirk?
I don't even know what they could put there. Like I really don't even know what they could possibly make. But I feel like they have to acknowledge it in some way. They can't just like leave it and pretend like it never happened.
No, I agree. That's what I told my friend.
It's like it's more ominous to not put anything.
I agree.
Then to put something there and be like, oh, like let's put a recognition that this horrific thing happened here. Whether he's right or wrong. Yeah. Like let's put something here, just to kind of like clear the air and not make this like uncomfortable for every single person who walks through this courtyard.
And I can see that, and that's also putting in humanity and like. That we're humans and those things do matter, like the energy, events, trauma. So I do take that into account that there should be something there. And I think what I talked with my friend about, because he's for it, he goes to UVU, he's like, oh, I'm all for having UVU or having a Charlie Kirk statue. Like, I get that. I'm not saying that. Yeah. But what I'm saying is like, sorry, I guess the way, so like,
do you do them like holding like swinging an American flag? Like probably not.
Nah, but like, I would also I don't even know if I would do a statue. I think a big statue for me makes like almost puts the energy of revision more than like respect of like the situation and the good things he stood for. So like maybe doing like a little, maybe not a little, but doing something like a stone with a plaque that has like how he or like the 19 how old is he like something to 2025 and then a quote by him. It's cool like to like respect him and the good things he stood for, I guess. And then my counter, I guess, to like a big statue or like a statue of him, it's almost like think about 150 years from now. Think about 50 years from now when someone like me, being brown or black specifically, goes and sees Charlie Kirk and the statue and like
since he's like a Christian conservative and like people really support him for his like Christian ideas and stuff like that, it does get a little bit weird like putting like, I don't know if you would call him. I think it's like fair to call him like a religious figure almost. Is that fair? Because I feel like he represents a lot of people who are like, who use the Bible as justification for politics.
Yeah, and I think that goes back to my issue. I think I'm okay to say he was a political figure because he was.
Mm-hmm.
Saying that he was a religious figure, I guess you could also say in a way because he used the Bible, he used Christ. But I think for someone like me that did grow up in a Christian environment or LDS environment, and like I was really born and raised in that, like I was really doing it. I think the majority, I don't know, I guess I would say this. I think he was a political figure that used his beliefs and Christianity to justify some of his policies. I don't think he was a Christian figure or a Christian man that so happened to talk about politics. Like, those are two different things to me. So it's like, no, he was a political figure that used Christianity. Now, whether he used it for good or bad, I guess I don't want to get into the semantics of that. But I think he did use Christianity. And that's my thing. It's like, if we can take out his use of Christianity, because that does resonate with people, or maybe we don't have to. But again, going back to the statue and how that relates, I would say that if you want to put like a Christian quote on there, and it's like something like what's the word I'm looking for? Like modest, like something modest is where I'm going with. Like,
you should have a modest
keep
statue.
it conservative.
Yeah,
if you know what I mean.
Yeah, he needs a conservative. Something
like a big statue. It's like, I don't know, that feels wrong to me. I don't know if that's bad for me to feel like that, but it's like, I think I'm willing to talk about it and meet in the middle and like have conversations as someone that grew up in Utah and someone that like went to BYU and Utah, and I was planning on going back to school to UVU. It's like, I'm okay to like put my 2 cents. I can't speak for everyone, but obviously the majority here is Christian, and they, I don't want to say white Christian because it's not about that, but Christians, let's just say Christian Americans in Utah might, for the most part, agree with putting up a statue. But I think just because you have a bigger amount of people saying yes doesn't mean that it's right. I think
the majority doesn't mean that it's necessarily the right.
The right, yeah.
And so and what's kind of tricky is Charlie, like, at the end of the day, like, everybody knows he just said like very inflammatory things. And again, we talked about this before, where it's like the difference between like right and how do we say it? Like right and factual or something like that. I think
it was like truth.
Yeah, truth
and like
being right, like,
trying
for the sake of argument.
Yeah, trying to be right for the sake of argument and telling the truth are two separate things.
Yeah, and so we talked about that a lot, and he
I
like
want to make sure, is the camera recording? Please tell me it's recording.
I think so. I see a little.
Okay. Bro,
yeah, we're good.
I just had like a flash of anxiety of like everything's wrong.
No, it's all good. Can you still hear us?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, good.
Okay, there. That's good.
But so he like obviously said like very inflammatory things to get like, I don't know. It seems to get like views and stuff like that, but to get engagement of like any sort, it's like you could like, he had opinions that have like valid arguments, but he would say them in the most inflammatory way to get the highest engagement. Yeah. And like, I don't know, I'm sure there's an argument to make like I'm trying to like get this message out there. I'm going to do something to make
wild. Like, I'm going to do something cringy, or I'm going to do something controversial
to get my point out there. Yeah. But that's going towards like the right and not the truth. And it's like, if he was more, I don't know. I guess I just wish he was more going for more. He was more interested in finding the truth rather than making like inflammatory statements to push like
or
his
like
argument.
I wish he was truth and solution based. Yeah. And not trying to be right and like use emotion and belief. And that's like that's my issue with the whole Charlie Kirk situation, is that he did use more like, I won't even say inflammatory, because inflammatory could be perspective. Like, I can't speak to someone that believes that he wasn't inflammatory. With his substance, I feel like he pushed more of his beliefs to justify certain policies or certain ways of thinking, more than trying to find a solution through his beliefs. Like, his belief was the solution is my thing. It's like everyone's belief is different. Everyone has a different perspective. There's nuance to complex issues. And he was trying to take super complex issues and filter them through his belief and find certain truths that push his narrative instead of trying to take a complex solution, be human and Christ-like, and find a solution that is contributing or progressing America and American citizens. You know, the truth and solutions, and not, oh, I'm right, or this is true and I believe it through my God, therefore it is right. It's like, that's a slippery slope, I guess.
Yeah, and again, like he would say very inflammatory things to like bring almost light to issues, but then there was I feel like there was no like solution on the other end of it, and it just seemed it was just disingenuous. And he did, and I'm telling you, like if he was sitting right here, I bet he would be like a phenomenal guy. Like I bet he was like a really stand-up guy, like nice person, and like we would have no problem sitting here and talking to him. Maybe not.
Okay, I can say that. I mean, he's smart, he's intelligent, he's strategic, and I feel like
he can definitely play a room. He can talk, and he would tell you exactly what you wanted to hear. And like even if he didn't even believe it,
but that's like, the thing. I think with exactly wanting you to hear is perspective, because I feel like in a debate, a lot of times he said what the crowd wanted to hear and feel because they knew who he was as a person, and so he would use certain, like when I haven't watched all his videos, so I can't speak from like true fact, but I think he's great at debating. And so when he maybe was backed up in a corner, sometimes he would ask specific questions that didn't really provide towards finding the solution to the issue they're talking about. And I mean, that's part of debates, right? In a debate, you're trying to win by winning the crowd. You're supposed to bring in the truths that make your point right, but that's a debate. And I think we get lost in that. Like,
again,
just because
being right besides not finding the truth. It's
like,
I wish, like, I used to be really into watching debates, and I'm kind of getting sick of it.
What was that one dude that you used to watch that you told me that when you were younger?
Yeah, it was Christopher Hitchens, and he was an anti-theist who believed he didn't believe in God, but he also believed that if there was a God, he didn't.
Let's take a break.
Okay.
The camera died. I'm gonna get it back on.
All good. My phone keeps buzzing too. I need to turn it off.
Let's take a little break. Okay, let's turn this on. Hey, it's going pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, this sounds exactly like we're sitting in the barbershop talking.
For real. And let's see. Dang, we only got a little less than an hour in. It's only 1:15, yeah. So we'll just maybe do like 30 more minutes, and then.
I mean, we're rolling.
Yeah, you can always come back.
I'm trying to think. Yeah, what we're talking about, Christopher Hitchens. Yeah, that's right. We're trying to find the difference between truth.
Yeah, and just let it roll. If we sit back down and we kind of go in a different direction with that, it is what it is. Let's see how much battery I got out of her. She's been charging for like an hour and a half.
Is there anything that we talked about that's been, you think, good?
No, the whole thing. I think.
I'm trying to think of like any like the clips that would have been good. I'm
using AI.
Oh really? Just to pick through it.
I don't care. I just want it to be very real, very, very just like conversational, and I'm just gonna post whatever AI tell me to post.
Yeah.
I'm gonna edit it so it looks clean, professional, sounds professional, and I'll get better along the way, you know?
Yeah. I saw this thing that I think like Mark Zuckerberg posted this today on like Instagram, talking about how like a lot of these AI companies are like try to like create an AI system that does like labor intensive jobs and stuff like that. So like they can like optimize their companies and stuff like that to get rid of a lot of like the busy work.
Yeah.
And he's like, apparently, it's not called Facebook anymore. What is it called now? Meta. They're like the Meta AI system is all about like creating like personal AI systems.
Yeah.
And creating like an individual super intelligence that you could personalize and use it like yourself. So instead of like creating like AI specifically for a company to optimize the company, he's like, we're just going to create it for you
As a worker?
Yeah, basically as like a super intelligence for you to help you get whatever you need to get done, whether that's, you know, like knowing how to paint your house or like doing like your coding
Basically,
for work.
you just talk to a robot and the robot's like, oh yeah, so you're going to want this kind of paint.
Yeah.
And if you want these two options, you're probably going to want to prime it. So get this kind of basically just making
it's optimized to the individual rather than to like the task.
The only thing that I see in that, is it on?
I think this is recording in the top right.
I look so weird doing that. Okay, bet. All right, let me do a check because I really want to get into this conversation that we're in right now. That's a good one. Yes. Go ahead and speak one more time.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can hear myself too. Okay.
Good. It's probably good that we keep doing these checks.
No, I'm telling you, bro, because I'm telling you because ever since, again, my first podcast, forgot to turn on the mic. So I'm like, I'd rather keep it real where it's like, oh, I got to check to make sure this stuff is on. Make sure this shit is on. Okay. Yeah. But here, we'll just go until basically till this kind of goes off.
Sounds good.
Okay. The only thing that's hard with like doing that, it's good. I think that's, you know, good stuff for humanity that we're trying to optimize the human experience, I guess, through using AI and its intelligence to help everyday people. But like, I know it's not their intention, but what happens when someone uses their perception and their biases to optimize negative things, like a villain, right? When a villain gets a power, what makes him a villain is not like the power itself, it's his ideology, his mindset, and his sense of justice, right? Those are what make a villain, a hero in a way, right? So I think with that great power of knowledge and optimization, it's like, what can people use that for? Like, if someone wants to spread hate, it's like, now I can use the AI to really
be a super hater.
Yeah, for real, I could be an AI hater. This like advanced hater.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, dang, there's got to be like, in a way, and that's where I understand with like rules and regulations. I'm not saying that we should be running buck wild and free. I think there should be some regulations that's voted on and talked about through the human experience itself of like, okay, what do we feel is right? But then you can get into like who's going to be in that room and what are their biases towards what's right and just, and what we consider a regulation that fits the human mold. You know, like you can't have a perfect answer, but I feel like we do a lot of times have a narrowed perspective, or maybe just like an equal lens. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Like,
no, I get
what you're saying.
Yeah, I get what you're trying to say. Is because it is like so. I don't know. I feel like when everybody talks about AI, for some reason they talk about like, they think of like iRobot, the movie, or like Terminator. Or like it's gonna like have some sort of like dangerous hardware behind it. You know what I mean?
Like malignant. It's a malignant system.
Yeah, like AI. I feel like, I don't know. Maybe I'm like I mean, people who are like worried about that kind of future, it's like I don't know.
AI.
Dude, this gets so funny because like I think of like the company, like, do you know like Boston Dynamics?
And
what's
that?
They have like these you've probably seen like they have like viral videos of like robots like doing backflips and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, and then gliding and going and doing like the track, they'll like
run in like circles. It's like, this seems so pointless. I don't know how that company like makes any money.
No,
like, nobody owns a Boston Dynamics robot.
Funny.
Dude, dude, it literally makes no sense. Like, there's no way they live off like a one viral video a year of like their robot doing a front flip. For sure. It makes no sense.
But if you think about it though, if we had that here, 5 minutes, you're gonna go at least once and go check it out.
We'll do. I would go check it out, but I mean, there's no way.
Let's say the ticket's $50. You're gonna still go, right?
I'll probably go. Like they're like, dude, they just like post videos of them like hitting them with the brooms and
and they're just like,
yeah, and they're like, they can stabilize, and it's like, dude, this is supposedly be like $1 billion company. Like this robot, like I feel like in its actuality, like at its state, you guys have been doing this for like 20 years. Like this is like not doing anything.
Nah, for sure.
I feel like it's so useless. But like,
I think that's where the AI and optimization of the human experience is like the next step, because it's like robot.
People thought that's the way it was gonna go. Like Boston Dynamics is gonna bring in that future, but it's like that. I feel like we'll never get to the point where it's like a bipedal robot is like not ideal at all. Like it just doesn't make any sense.
No,
I don't know why that was in my brain for that company. I just don't understand how that company works.
No,
like,
it's like, how are they making money?
Yeah, how do they make money?
The humans.
They spend like millions and millions of dollars every year. It's like, who is funding these like literally just viral videos?
And that's probably like a deep question if you really get into it. Like, who's funding this company? It's probably one of those, what do they call them? Shell companies?
Dude, what is that?
Oh, like a shell company is where like a rich person or a rich group of people. I don't know. I'm not going to say I know everything about it, but what I understand about a shell company is take someone that's super rich and they need to spend or wash their money so that they don't have to pay taxes. They'll open up a company and invest all this money into the company so that they can say, oh, I invested $20 million into starting this mattress firm, and
now you don't pay taxes.
Now you don't pay taxes on that 20 because you're investing it into the economy and the people, and it's a write-off to start a business. So that's a shell company. So in a way, it's like, oh, all these investors, like, why are they $1 billion company doing nothing? It's probably all these different super ultra wealthy people and not wanting to pay taxes will invest millions of dollars into the what'd you call it?
It was the
bot company.
Oh, Boston Dynamics.
They'll spend $20 million into Boston Dynamics, and maybe somehow it'll like come back to them through. Again, this could be like a deep rabbit conspiracy, but it's like they could be on the employee salary list, and like somehow someone on the list is getting $20 million.
Yeah.
You know, so like they invest into the company, but then they're
just repaying themselves.
And they avoid taxes. So
there's a lot of tricks you can do.
I know, and that's
I don't have to worry about any of that at my current.
But
state.
yeah, so going back to what we were saying about like the AI optimization thing, I think my thing is more about guns, cars, AI systems aren't the problem. They're just a tool. Obviously, it's more of the human using that tool, and how are they going to use the tool is what I think about. So, like, I guess what do you say about that?
Yeah, it does get tricky, because I also don't think like anybody really understands how far it can go or how smart it can get, and like how quickly it can get out of control. So it is kind of tricky when you're putting something so strong into all these individuals' hands. It's kind of similar to like the gun debate, where it's like, should you be allowed to like own a tank? You know what I mean? Yeah. It's like, no, that's like way too dangerous for like to let anybody like, should you be allowed to own a super intelligence that can like, I don't know, that has like,
that can literally in a way you could change the world with that. It's like your superpower, and it's tailored to your personality.
But if everybody has one, then it kind of is similar to the gun debate, where it's like, if everybody has one, then is it like equal playing field again? I don't know. I honestly don't understand the depth of how deep it goes, and like I don't really understand like their intentions behind like,
and that's what I'm saying.
What like capabilities will it really have?
Okay,
like I'm not even sure. It's like, I don't think I would be doing like complex, algebra or like calculus anytime
trying to solve soon. the solve pi.
Yeah, but it's like what I like. Yeah, I feel like I would use it for such mundane things.
For real, like I used AI to try and start the podcast. Like I asked it all these different questions of what's the best way I could start spending the least amount of money, but keeping the integrity of my the quality of a professional system or whatever. I just asked it questions like that. Like, okay, I want to start a podcast. What kind of mics can I get for the cheapest, but still keep quality? What's the best boom mic? What's the best like camera? Like I did all that. But then like, there might be some people that are like, how can I become a social media influencer and like have millions and millions of followers? And if you don't have like anything to worry about, but just like applying what AI said, in a way you can, because I don't know if you heard it before, but like when it comes to content creation, the like, I just watch a lot of videos. So it's what I understand is if you want to get viral or famous on social media, it's all about consistency. And then through that consistency, you kind of see what people like and kind of double down on those different aspects. And then you can just kind of use AI to help you find those things quicker in a way. I don't know.
It is kind of just like replacing Google to a certain degree, where I do it a lot for the same things where I'm like, oh, I need to buy this and I want to buy like, I mean, instead of like digging through reviews and stuff like that, you can just be like, just go through it for me. Like, that's what I'm saying. It's like the really like mundane things.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess I really just don't understand the extent at which it can go.
And I guess right now we don't have to, technically, because it's in the beginning stages. We're not even worried about it until something happens. And maybe...
Do you know what's going to be scary? Is something like in our lifetime, for sure, something is going to happen.
Yeah.
That it's like, it's inevitable. Like I mean, it's kind of like with like Tesla, like self-driving cars, like it's a really creative and cool idea. Like that will, you know, probably super optimize all the traffic and getting anybody anywhere. But like the moment it hits somebody, like people are going to be like, no,
they're going to be scared.
Done.
Yeah.
Like I'm done with this. Like that's not cool. Like,
but then,
and so it's like,
then the Tesla, like Elon could be like, okay, what made that happen? Figure out the issue. And then he has to just remarket it in a way, say we fixed that problem and we have this and we have these features. So it's like, and then once everyone starts using it again, it starts over. So it's like we're very simple humans at heart. I feel like in terms of mass communication, something happens, we get scared and fearful. We either withdraw, or we're fearful, so we go and like buy more, do more of that thing to like avoid that fear. So I feel like if something happens with AI, we might hop off of it for like 4 weeks, 5 weeks. And then they're going to be like, well, we fixed that problem with AI and we added these 2-3 features and it's going to be like free for the first 6 months or whatever, you know? And then once you see your friend using it, your mom using it, your dad, your siblings, cousins, then you're just like, oh, I might as well use it.
Yeah, and even like right now, I don't know what like the statistics are, but like let's just throw out like 100,000 people get killed a year by drunk drivers or whatever. It's like, even if like AI could reduce that to 0, like let's say we had 100% self-driving cars right now, there's no more drunk driving accidents. Even if it kills 1,000 people a year, people will be like, this is still like they wouldn't even. I feel like a lot of people wouldn't even like comprehend like we're saving so many. Like people wouldn't really pay attention to how many lives we're saving, but that it's still like dangerous. I don't know. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
I know exactly what you're saying.
Right. Again, we're like simple-minded and we're like fearful of like new, and like especially when new goes wrong. Like I feel like it's gonna be a long time, and I mean like that's why. Like Elon even said, like there's supposed to be like self-driving cars like years ago, like like 100% self-driving taxis all over every city, and it's like that.
And I think that has to do with like investments too in the public eye. I watch a lot of anime, so like I've learned I learned a lot in anime of how like our system works, or maybe you know they could be lying on the anime, but it does make sense where you want in the public eye for your product to look safe, successful, and like convenient. So if it's like convenient, successful, and a little unsafe in the public eye, you might not be able to start the self-driving car for another 3 years because again the public, the mass human amounts of people, or damn, what am I trying to say? A lot of people might say like, yeah, but it's still killing 1,000 people a year. But then once more people are saying, yeah, but it's saving us 99,000 people from drunk driving deaths. Once those voices and the public eye is starting to overshadow the fearfulness, then it's like that company will get the funds, have the money to just figure it out. But I think that's part of the problem is we don't have enough people advocating for self-driving cars so that they can get subsidies to figure it out.
Yeah. I also think it's like such a more complex problem than they thought it would ever be. Like it feels like getting 95% of the way there is a lot easier than that final 5% of like perfecting it. You know what I mean? Like even if you think like you play like GTA 5 right now, like all the cars go in the direction, like they all stop at the stoplights, they all take the right turns, they're following traffic laws. It's like they can, like that part of it, like even like in like old video games, they like could do that. Like they had traffic laws and they would follow the rules, and like they would be pulled over by police and everything would work. But so it's like that kind of programming like existed like years and years and years ago, and that's like 90% of it. But like the last like to get to 95% is like, oh, there's a dog ran across the street, and now I have to recognize this like abnormality. Yeah. And now I stop, and the car behind me stops, recognizing that I'm stopping. It's not like that last 10% I think is so much trickier than like they ever could have expected.
It's probably because we live in an infinite, like, there's just so many infinite possibilities of what could happen that it's like, if you were somehow able to decode that, then you've literally solved all problems to the universe. Or like
if you can somehow account for every single, like, I mean, it's literally impossible.
That's what I'm saying.
Create something that can account for anything happening, and so that's why they were like, they got 90% of the way there, and they're like, dude, like to get 10 more percent, that's gonna take us like a year, and that's why they're like saying in like 2020 that they'll have all self-driving cars. They're like, we only have 10% left to go, but.
And then we even got AI. We even got AI, and it's like we still haven't figured it out.
Yeah, we still haven't figured out. Like Tesla's been around for a long time. It's like a giant, well-funded company with millions of probably billions of dollars of investing. Yeah. And like it's still so hard to get that last 5%. That's
true.
And that's why I'm like, it really could be.
Do you think
a
it's
long
humans?
time.
Do you think it's because we can't account for every human behavior that could come from every like region? Because you know how like based on region, the driving, like people say Utah is the worst driving city or state in the world, and it's like you've got to account for all of the problems you could face in that region in Utah. Then you have to figure out all the ones in California and all the different possibilities. And so like it really is just an endless, like it's just endless. There's more problems than there are solutions.
Yeah, especially if you're driving in Utah, you'll find very quickly there are so many problems on the road. There are so many people doing wild things.
But dang, how do you fix that?
Well, I think there's one way you could do it, which is like seems impossible and would be like a huge overstepping by government, is somehow like mandating like everybody has to drive self-driving now. Like all the cars communicate. There's no more human input. Like let the computers run the system.
You know what? The first thing that comes to mind with that is I could say that, dang, that's a good idea, but my human conscience says like, oh, but I don't have control. I don't have control of the car. Like, what happens if that one calculation of the dog coming through, you got the wrong breed. It like calculates it as like a Shih Tzu instead of a poodle, and then it does like a delay, and then it's like malfunctioning. Boom! It hits the dog, stops on like some random sharp stop, and then the car behind you just plows you over.
But then that's exactly what we were saying earlier. It's like you cut down the 100,000 drunk driver deaths, and now you're like you can't like get over the fact that you can't not hit the dog.
For real, you're like, but you're the 1%.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, hey man, I'm sorry. Like this is just how it is. Like the mistakes are, I guess, have to be made. Like nothing's gonna be a perfect system. I guess that's the same thing with like
Charlie Kirk. He stood for like owning guns and said, hey, I'll stand on the deaths.
I know, and that's why people who say it's not ironic, it's unfortunately, the fact is it is ironic because he made those statements.
Yeah.
It's that he said there is like a justifiable amount of gun deaths for people to own guns.
Yeah.
And so when you say something like that, it's like, I mean, of course it's like, it's still so horrific.
It is horrific.
But it's just purely ironic.
Yeah, and I saw this one comment on a TikTok that said, it's always the people that make those statements that never assume that they'll be part of the statistic.
Yeah.
So like, that's like, if he knew that he would die from a gun in a gun violence situation, do you think he would have he would change his
Dude,
stance.
I mean, I know that's
You feel me?
that's like an insane thing to ask, like to
No,
ask
you
like
feel me?
a post-mortem person, but like, oh man, I mean, maybe he stands on
He
business.
stands on business.
I mean, maybe he stands on business. Maybe, I mean, what he says all along about like mental health is like, he was mentally like insane. Like, I don't, I don't know.
No, I
It's
feel that
insane.
because like
It's such an insane situation.
for me, I have my own belief. Everyone has their own beliefs, and it's like, would you, if you knew that what you believed in was like
Your
wrong,
demise, dude. It was literally like
yeah.
your demise was your thing. You're
and
like,
it's not whether it's right or wrong or the truth, but
Mhm.
that like that is going to kill you.
Mhm.
Would you change your stance?
Yeah, I know. That's
I
it's
think I
crazy.
would.
Well,
If the caveat, or maybe not caveat, but
I think you would have to.
yeah, like if you knew that's how you're gonna die, but you can change it. You can change it by fighting against it and making a change. And if you
Or
do
even just, like,
influence,
and not even like 180, just like adjust. Like like maybe
add
like
some regulations.
yeah, add regulations.
Yeah.
I don't know, things like yeah.
But like you probably would, like anyone would that's like smart or that values their life.
Mm-hmm.
If they believed in something that ultimately would kill them, and they were told that, but if you change your course, even just adjust it a little bit, and not be as rigid on that specific view or belief, you'd live.
Mm-hmm.
I think most people would.
Mm-hmm. And it's so sad because he had like kids and a wife too.
Yeah,
Where it's like
bro.
leaving them behind. Like they're like the real like victims of it all, which sucks. But
Yeah, she was acting weird though. I'm not
dude,
gonna
she
lie.
was, I mean that whole situation was really weird.
Yeah.
Like,
Did you watch the videos of like the funeral memorial?
Yeah, like that stuff is so. It's so.
It's sad because they low-key
dystopian
were using it. Yeah, they were
looking.
definitely they were using his death almost to like promote their own.
The ramp up support. I
Yeah.
don't know, but I don't want to take their like I don't want to like speak for their intentions. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? But just from an outsider looking in, it seems like
It's
you're trying
off.
to. Yeah, there's something off here,
Yeah.
and it's very uncomfortable, and it seems very like movie like and dystopian.
Nah, facts.
Where you're, I don't know, where
And
it's like
it's
where it's
crazy,
literally
bro.
a stadium, and what's so funny is I went to like an Arizona Cardinals game in that stadium
Uh-huh.
like a week later after they did that, and yeah, it
Did
was
it feel
so
weird?
No, it didn't feel weird, but there was some stuff like outside, like lingering, like signs and stuff like that,
Oh,
like
yeah.
little like support stuff, but it was very odd watching that whole thing, and it.
And I think that goes back to my argument for the statue.
Mm-hmm.
Do I feel like that's right or wrong? I can't say, but how I feel is that was a bit much. That is a bit much what they did for the funeral.
Mhm.
I think that was a bit much. And so like for the statue at UVU, as long as you keep it respectful, conservative, and not trying to like push any agenda, but just focusing on him
Mm-hmm.
and the event, those two things,
Yeah.
it's like in a conservative or like a good, like a good conservative way.
Mhm.
I think I could rock with that, even though I'm not a fan of him. I think we have very different ideologies or like
Mhm.
ways that we process, spiritual things and stuff. Like all that aside, it's like I would be cool with something for that, but
Mm-hmm.
like the memorial, for example, it's like, would I feel right going to that, doing that,
I know,
supporting
it's
that?
like who's
no.
also funding that? If that was like taxpayer funded, that's so odd. Like no, like why are you
I don't
spending
think
other people's
I
money?
think they're gonna say that it wasn't, but
Okay.
it probably was.
I have a feeling. I thought I saw something that was, but if it wasn't, I at least hope it wasn't, because like that's
Another thing where it's like, again, like that was like one of those shell events, where it's like they spent $60 million, but like it was $60 million we're putting into
it's
this
a donation.
donation, yeah, and it's like,
What's funny is my aunt. She is she does like sculpting. She got into like creating like clay sculptures and stuff like that. Like when she was like in her 40s, and she works for like a pretty famous and like works alongside this like really famous sculptor now, and they do like really big. Like really, I think they did like one of like the George Floyd ones where he's like sitting on like a bench like this. Like she was like and she like
she's
made
like really
that one.
good.
She's like really good. Like she has
Yeah.
phenomenal ones that she's done. And she was telling me, or she wasn't telling me, but she was telling my dad that like that a lot of that shell stuff comes into those like building sculptures and building statues and stuff
Oh,
like that.
art. I've heard
Art.
of that. Yeah.
So like what these like super rich people will do is they'll be like, hey, I'll give you, I don't know, $100,000, and you're gonna make this, you know, giant. I think they made it one. I can't remember who it was of like Jay-Z. Somebody wanted to make like a statue of like Jay-Z or something. They gave her like $100,000. She made it, turned it into like bronze or whatever, and then got it appraised for like 3.5 million. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And so this guy spent 100,000, got it appraised for 3.5 million, and now he can write off 3.5 million for the 100,000 he put in, instead of having to be taxed, you know, 1.75 million that he would have had to do. You know what I mean?
And people don't understand that, like, that is why I wouldn't say I'm a Democrat or a Republican. I'm just me, bro. I'm living my life. I'm human.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's one of those things where I do understand why they want to tax the rich.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, you don't need that money.
Dude, yeah.
You don't need that money.
This is one thing my girlfriend gets so mad about, is when I'm like super into sports. Like it takes up way too much of my time. But like when I talk to her about like contracts and like people like how much money they make, she's like, I cannot believe that. Like this is like, I don't think there's any way else to say it, but like that seems so deeply in my soul wrong. Yeah. That like somebody can be making $70 million a year for like playing a sport. Like not like I don't know. You're not like contributing to like the human race.
Yeah, you're not
$70 million.
You're not contributing to humanity's
Yeah.
progression of like trying to get everyone food, shelter, water.
Yeah.
Like
70 million, and like half the time they just gamble half of it away. It seems like.
And so I mean, there are some like LeBron. He's made some schools and stuff, but it is just like it is interesting how much they make. Like they deserve to be paid for the hard work that got them there, but like that is a lot.
I know, but then again, it's like that's just what entertainment is it's generating so much money that it's like it has to, like, I also want them to be like, I don't want the CEOs and the NFL to be a $1 trillion company and not pay like the players their fair portion. Like they should be making 50% of the revenue. Like that only makes sense. And if the revenue is just what the revenue is, then that's just what they get paid. But I don't know why. It's like somewhere like deep in my soul, it just seems so like a tinge like, oh it my gosh, like, what is so when this just makes me feel like I'm doing sales again. Like that like icky feeling where you're like, something's wrong here. And but it's like not inherent.
No, I feel that because it's unnatural, probably.
Yeah, probably.
But no, like, yeah, when you're in it and you're doing it and you worked hard to get there, you feel justified, and I think that's a lot of people in any like career and life path is when they feel like they had a lot of struggle, they pushed through, they worked hard despite all odds, and they made it. They feel justified, like. I don't know how to explain that. Everyone feels that, you know?
That's true.
So it's like kind of hard to like, I'm not saying that like it's right. I'm saying that like, that it's interesting that everyone, because they go through hard things and they overcome it and they work hard through it, they feel justified in what they're getting out of it. But
especially when like, and it's like that justification only comes from also what your peers are getting. Like you're always comparing like yourself to your others. So it's like, especially in that echelon of like money, like you're always getting compared to like, you know, like, I mean, if you're an NFL player and you're making, you know, I don't know, I'm just throwing out random names, but like Justin Jefferson making $1 million versus like Jamar Chase making 20. It's like $1 million, anybody could survive off $1 million a year and be like well over happy. Yeah. But just because somebody of his same echelon is making 20, now he feels underwhelmed. Yeah. And he feels like he's being underappreciated. But
and that goes back to the that one saying, comparison is a thief of joy.
Yeah. And so, yeah, I don't even know what I was getting at with that, but I just think it's a lot of those.
It does go to that competition and comparison when you aren't just looking inward and happy with what you have. You're willing to get more because you feel like you deserve more because the person right next to you is doing just as much as you, or you feel like you're doing more, so I deserve more. instead of just kind of being grateful. I think, yeah, just being grateful. But I didn't know you were into sports. Like, what do you watch?
I'm a diehard Seahawks fan. That's
Okay.
what I'm doing. Diehard.
Legion
Like,
of Boom, bro.
Legion,
That's
dude.
I will. They're my dogs.
Yeah, dude. People who I don't know who do you support?
The Steelers.
Oh.
Seahawks are honestly like my second favorite team because of Legion of Boom and like Cam Chancellor, like that whole 2016 vibe. You know, that was the time to be alive.
Dude, it
sports,
was the time
bro.
to be alive, dude. I think it was 2013. I think it was a freshman in high school. And so it was like perfect timing, like nothing to do all day. Like all I had to do was like just like go to school, go home, like watch football on the weekends, like hang out with my friends. Like it was such a fun time, dude. But they're doing really good right now. They're going insane. I literally think, I mean, I'm always underwhelmed, but like we have like I think the best, like one of the best coaches in the league.
Who is it?
Mike McDonald.
Oh, I don't know.
He's the youngest coach in the NFL right now, and he used to be the Ravens defensive coordinator.
Okay.
And he like whipped them into shape. They were nasty, and now he's our head coach.
And ever since he left, the Ravens have gone downhill.
Yeah, dude, the Ravens.
I feel like
fell
some
apart.
of that is like just some player fumbles and like.
They lost Lamar, which is like.
Oh, he's hurt. See,
Yeah,
I don't watch
hurt.
sports anymore, bro. I think after college, I kind of got exhausted. I got burnt
Really?
out. I think I got
I
burnt
could see
out.
that.
And now I can watch highlights when they come up on my TikTok or Instagram feed. But for the most part, I kind of just live life, bro.
I had a buddy who played in college, and he's the same way. He's like, I think you just get like numb or like you see it for more like. I mean, it's obviously extremely hard, and so it's like you almost like relate like this trauma and the struggle with it to like watching it on TV, and like a lot of former players don't even watch. I'm pretty sure, like they just like can't do it. But like
I think it's like you with sales. Like imagine trying to watch a sales podcast.
Oh yeah, it would be like
that shit would be like okay.
It would melt my like every time I see like Andy Elliott. I don't know if you know who that is, but he's like. He'll like fire people if they don't have like a 6-pack. Like his sales guys, like it's so over the top ridiculous. It makes me like my skin crawl. And I think that's probably the same way when people see like, I mean, yeah.
What were you gonna say? See what? Oh, see sports.
Yeah, okay, sports, and like they have all this emotion and like usually a lot. I mean, like that when you're that in that competitive world, it's like so much failure too. It's like I mean, like what do they say? Like the average NFL.
3 years.
Yeah, like 3 years, and like that's the 1%ers who make it out of college who get there. So it's like it's just literally like a world of failure and trauma and like physical abuse on yourself and mental abuse on yourself.
It's like an everyday thing because you're thinking like, oh, I hope I get my shot, or I hope they run this play so I can show my worth. It's like you're constantly trying to prove your worth. Like there's God-given talent, and like you can be super fast or whatever, super strong, or just be lucky enough to be in a good position where someone that knows someone, and then you go and go ball out. But for the most part, if you don't have those things and you're just like an average player like me, I wouldn't say I was anything crazy, but I feel like I was good enough to play in college. I just didn't have the right circumstances, the right connections. But once it's done, the best way for me to describe it is mental exhaustion, sadness, and just like melancholy. For at least a little bit. Then you kind of get over it, right? Because again, it's like growing up, being Christian or any type of religious belief, giving your all to it, mind, body, and soul, trying to incorporate it in your life every day, like think the right way, act the right way, say the right things, and you're doing this all for a higher purpose, for something that's to come, and then realizing that it wasn't true. There's a lot of ways, everyone copes differently, but I would say the overwhelming majority, in my opinion, would be like you just kind of get depressed and like mentally exhausted. You don't want to think, you don't want to hear, Jesus Christ. You're just like, okay.
Do you think it's like, since, and I guess it kind of is the religious, but like sports kind of like becomes your life.
And that's what I was trying to compare it to. It's like the religion. It's like it's everything to you.
Yeah,
then,
like when something's everything to you, and then like you kind of like see the flaws in it, or it's like taken away. You're like, yeah, you I guess you have like a negative connotation.
Yeah,
attached to
it's just that like if like you said with like certain things, I can't remember what you said, but if you just go in with no expectations and you just kind of grind and feel your way through and kind of just enjoy the experience, enjoy the learning process, you probably will leave fine for the most part. You might have a little sadness, whatever, but then you're on to your next chapter. When you become emotionally dependent on anything, I've said this in my last podcast, but like talking about sports specifically, when you become emotionally dependent on the sport and that you get your joy, your happiness, all your external and internal validation from that one thing, which in this case is sports, when it's no longer serving you or it doesn't meet its full like completion, you kind of you will be like pretty depressed.
Yeah,
you gonna be in the dumps for a while, and I was for sure.
And I mean, and sometimes it like feels like completely out of your control, like tearing your ACL, like and you're like, well, like it seems like there was nothing you can do about that, you know what I mean? But like the recovery process is just like, that's gotta be so tough. I couldn't imagine.
Is. And
but I'm happy I sucked.
Everyone
I didn't have to worry
experienced
about that.
Did you play?
Yeah, I played in high school,
but
I was not good. I was like bench warmer.
And hey, I kind of, for someone who didn't make it, put all my effort, life force into it. Whenever I hear someone that's like, I didn't really play sports or I sucked at it, so I just went into something else. I'm in ways I am envious of that because I didn't make it and I feel like I wasted my time.
Yeah,
that's what it feels like. It just feels like a waste of time when you don't win, right? Like, if I would have played in the NFL even for a little bit, made some money, used it to get on my feet to do something else after 2 years of practice squad or whatever, it would have been worth it, right? But I didn't make it that far. I made it to college trying to fight for a spot, and then obviously it didn't work out, so like it felt like a waste of time. So I do envy people that are like, no, I sucked in high school. It's like, dang, at least you didn't grow up with the false sense of accomplishment. False sense of hope and dreams and confidence.
Dude, we were so dumb in high school, like me and all my friends. I wish we cared more. I have like the couple grades above me, they were really good. Like my buddy Tyler, who played in college, he was a phenomenal linebacker, went and played in college and had a fun little career. And yeah, like our quarterback went to Cal and stuff like that. But like my grade, we were just so stupid, and like we did not care, and we just like were there to have fun. But you're also
kids. You should be having fun. Bro.
Nobody wanted to play in college. We were like, bro, like even if we could, like some of them definitely could have, and they're like, no, like I'm not even trying to do that. Like,
dang, and see that takes me back to like, man, I wish. And there's a balance, right? I feel like because I cared so much, and again, emotionally depended on that, it hurt more. And I think I just like envy people who didn't care at all. I cared too much. I think that was my problem. I cared too much about too many things, and I think I hurt myself a lot. And I think a lot of it comes from like, unhealthy thinking or immature thinking as a kid that like really kind of like hindered my personal development. Kind of the same thing with you in college. Like your immature thinking when you were 18, 19, 20 kind of hinders the more well put together, more mature version of you now. And all you can do is look back and be like, dang, I wish I would have taken it a little more serious.
No, I wish I did, just for like my own satisfaction and stuff like that. And I feel like I feel like I could have been good. You know what I mean? But like I was just so lazy and not determined, like not
I'm over here saying, no, facts. You was lazy, but no.
Yeah. Like if there was like, I don't know, a summer lifting program we were supposed to do. I'm like, bro, I'm not gonna wake up at 6 a.m.
See, but that's
like
on summer.
Like I want to go and have fun.
I'm telling you, as someone that cared too much and went to everything.
Yeah.
My parents didn't have enough money to pay for like the sports stuff, like the equipment. So I had literally my whole family, just everyone at the high school from 9th grade to 12th grade was like my cousins and me.
Where was this at? Like, where'd you go to high school?
St. George.
Oh, St. George. Okay.
So like, we were all just doing janitor work for 130 hours to like pay. That was like our way to like pay without using money. It was like time, I guess. So that was fun. Like that was fun because I got to be with my boys, my cousins, my friends, and we were just like running around the school cleaning it. And like that was like a fun little thing where I wouldn't have gotten that if my parents just paid for my football. But what I'm trying to get at is like I wish I didn't care as much and like got to enjoy being a kid and having fun. But like my dad was on Project LeBron, bro. He just was he just went a little too far with it. But
you see, he like pushed you really hard, like
yeah, like Disney Channel kind of
really?
vibe. Where like living vicariously through me. But
you can get that gets really tricky. I've definitely seen that with a couple of my teammates. Like, even dude, I remember we had this kid on our team whose dad would like come to. Was your dad was like? Would he like come to practice?
Yeah.
Oh, your dad was like that. Oh my gosh. Well, there's this kid on our team whose dad used to come to practice and would scream at him from the stands, and I always kept being like, oh my gosh, I couldn't imagine that.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, this kid was just didn't get the cards for like a college, DN. Like you're like that to be a college DN.
You got to be at least 6'2", 6'3", at least. And at least 240, 250 with a little burst in your step.
Exactly. And you just have to have all the right muscle fibers to be able to run a 4.5 40 or whatever.
Damn.
4.6.
Like 4.5 to 4.9 is like solid.
Sorry, I shouldn't be.
I'm like, damn, I'm a 4.5, 4.6.
Yeah. But this kid, I grew up in tiny, white town in Washington State. Yeah. And it's like he's under 6 foot, 170 pounds. It's just not happening. You know what I mean? Like,
and his dad was yelling at him.
And he's like getting on him to like make you got to make this team. You got to like be good. And it's like you just gotta. I mean, that's just bad parents. I mean, or is that good parents? I don't know. Pushing your kids? I don't know. I don't know.
Okay, I would say again,
there's an in between.
What I really like,
because my dad let me get away with anything. That's like one thing where it's like my dad would like. If I'm like,
and that's why you had cheese in college.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
there's a balance. No, your dad probably had a balance and just knew, like, obviously, if you were failing classes, he probably would have said something. But in his eyes, you were passing your classes and doing your thing, and he's like, hey, like, you're figuring it out.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, you're passing your classes, but they're like doing the bare minimum isn't the right way to do it. Until probably, like my 2 years into college, I was like always doing the bare minimum of anything I didn't want to do. Like if I wanted to do it, I would put like
there is no reason not to just put all effort in.
But like that goes along with like things that suck. Like
but that's
going to the
crazy.
Gym.
Was he your friend too, or just a kid on the team?
He was just like another kid on the team. But yeah,
did he have friends?
Yeah, he had friends on the team for sure.
That he hung out with like a kid. Yeah. Okay, I would say my dad got better at that with me towards the end, but yeah. All right, we'll be wrapping up soon. I just set an alarm because I'm not good with time management right now, but we'll probably be doing another 10, 15 minutes to wrap up because this is an interesting conversation.
Yeah.
But all I wanted to say about that was like, damn, he's 170. A DN. Dude, and that's
okay. Dude, I was like 6. He was like under 6 foot 170. I was like 6 foot 170. So I was like, I had an edge. You know what I mean? So I was like,
were you a DN too?
Yeah, I was a DN. And dude, I was like skinny fat 170, 180, like no muscle mass, like getting tossed around by tackles, and it was like just not happening. And like it's like, I could have like gone to the gym and
imagine having a dad that was just like on you and then not giving you the proper resources to get you to be what he wanted to. My dad did do that. Like we worked out a lot, like 2 days in the summer. Like I hated summer growing up because like all I knew was that meant my dad was gonna work us out every day. At least when school is in session, or like at least when the school year starts, like my dad can't force me to work out because I have to be at school. He can when I get home or whatever, but yeah, summers were not it. But I think that was another thing. My dad saw the potential in me. I think he just pushed a little too hard and didn't have enough knowledge to properly guide me into being a good player. He was just more about like stamina, speed, being strong. So like he just worked us out. We didn't really work on a lot of skills, a lot of stretching, a lot of flexibility, like all the things that matter. So like he did the best he could, but it was kind of crazy. But Talking about your friend, that's a tough place to be.
Yeah,
and go ahead.
I had a buddy. His name is Kellen, and so at my high school, do you know who Zach Levine is?
Yeah.
So Zach Levine went to my high school.
Oh wow.
And so he was a couple grades above me, and he even played with this kid named Perrion, who was really good. They both ended up playing for the Bulls.
Yeah.
And but my third friend on that team, his name was Kellen, and Kellen was like nasty at basketball.
Oh,
like dude, he was just like that white kid who could sit in the corner and just knock down anything that touched his hands.
Okay, he was that pure shooter.
Dude, yeah, he was that BYU shooter. Like he could just knock down anything. And dude, he could fly.
Oh, he could dunk?
He could fly.
Hey, and they're different nowadays.
But like he was so good, but I feel like he had like the perfect balance of like I'm really good, but I don't know. Like obviously my friend Kellen was never going to make it to the league. But he had the perfect mix between like I'm good, but like I'm taking this like serious enough to like a certain degree, or like I'm not. I don't know, but maybe it's like a thief in comparison.
I'm not going all in, and my dad's not yelling at me. I'm just having a good time.
Like he just had a great time, and had like played on a team with like 2 NBA players. And it was just like a really fun experience to him.
Yeah.
And like he's not haunted by the fact that Zach and Perrion made it and I never did. You know what I mean? Like and these kids went on to have these amazing careers.
Again, I think that goes back to the emotional dependency. I depended on sports for my internal validation. Like again, my dad yelling at me. If I perform, like he's happy with me. So like I literally held on to like I gotta do good so I'm not getting yelled at or I'm not getting whatever. So I wasn't doing it for the right reasons. I wasn't doing it because I purely enjoyed it. It was a fun time, having a good time with my friends. I wasn't about friends. I was about like, I got to make it to college. Like, I'm doing okay in high school, but I got to do what it takes to get to college. And then while I was in college, I wasn't celebrating that I made the team. It was more like, because I walked on. But it's like, I wasn't celebrating that I walked on, made the team, and I'm over here doing my thing, having good reps in practice. It's more like, okay, I gotta, get to a role where I'm getting some reps and stuff. It wasn't about like, dang, I'm here. Wow, I'm grateful that I'm just here and like having a good time. It was never that. It was like literally trying to check boxes on a list for me. So like it's a weird, now that I think about it, it's a weird paradox that I had where it's like I relied and attached every part of me to the sport, but at the same time like I was numb to like the enjoyment of it, I guess. I don't know how to explain it. Like I didn't ever think once that, oh, I'm enjoying this is so fun, like getting to do what I love. I kind of just like forced that thought onto myself that like, hey, I'm doing what I love, I'm this and that, but it's like did I really love that? I didn't even experience anything else. How could I compare that this is like my ultimate journey? This is what I love to do. I've tried so many things and this just was right. Like I'm just doing that on my own as an adult. That's another crazy thing for me. So
yeah, it's where it's like sometimes that emotional attachment can like push you so hard to like accomplish it, and it does feel so good when it pays off. But again, like
if it doesn't,
it hurts.
Depression.
And that's what, and I think my friend Kel escaped that. He wasn't like super emotionally attached to it. He was just doing it for like the love of doing it. Yeah. And so like, once it was over, he was fine. And he has no problem watching basketball or like, doing anything like that. Like he enjoys it on like a casual level. And he's like doing phenomenal. Like my buddy Kel is like killing it right now. Yeah. I love my buddy Kel.
And I see that probably goes back to what you were saying about good parenting, bad parenting. I'm not anyone to judge anyone's parenting style because like who am I to judge? But you can look into certain results and a little bit of like the nuances and complex issues and get a good idea if someone's a good parent or not. Or at least, there's trying. There's good parents, bad parents, there's trying parents and non-trying. So like those are two different things. I think most parents try. But not like trying and being good at something are two different things. Like I think you get good at something the more you try and develop skills, but then how you try is what helps you develop the skills. So if you're just riding on the fact that you're trying your best as a parent, like, oh, I'm trying but I'm still beating my kid every day, it's like if you don't see any development, then it's like you're not doing anything. Like, I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
There's a saying for it. I can't remember what exactly it is, but it's like trying is like without do. I don't know. I can't remember.
You know,
There's a saying.
my parents just say stuff like that all the time, and it's like,
really?
It's like,
you're not a big saying guy. You're not a big like Instagram reels, like recreating like your own life world around Instagram reel inspirational quotes.
For real. No, I do that sometimes. I'm not gonna lie. My favorite quote is, "You could be the sweetest peach on the tree, but some people don't like peaches."
Yeah.
And that's something I think. Yeah, that's just like, oh, you got to be yourself. You know, you can't like, yeah. But going back to that thing, what about your friend, the one that was getting yelled at, the 170?
Oh yeah.
At the end, like, how is he doing? He's doing pretty good now.
I mean, I kind of lost touch with him since then. It's been so long, but I'm sure he's doing fine. But like, I mean, eventually, yeah. I mean,
like, what happened right after high school? Like,
I'm not even sure. Like, I think, like, again, he wasn't like a good friend of mine, but like, we're like friends. Like, we're on the same team. Like, yeah, we're like more. I would say probably more like acquaintances. But like, again, I don't think. I mean, maybe he has some demons that I've never heard of, but
he's got some
probably
demons.
does.
All right,
dude, he probably does.
We're probably twins, low key.
Yeah,
No, I'm joking.
No, I got some. Yeah, I got a lot of buddies who like had a lot of like not overprotective parents, but like hovering parents and stuff like that. And
it's so hard. So the thing is, like, the more I know, the more I learn I don't know, or whatever that saying is. Like, the more I learn about the world and about humans and about myself, the more I realize how much we don't know, how much I don't know, how much farther I need to go. So it's like, as much as I want to judge my parents for how they treated me because I was hurt, it's like they were doing the best they can. Now, I'm not gonna like excuse them. We've had talks and we've grown closer, and like, I appreciate them for now taking those steps and like doing a lot of accountability, because that takes a lot of work. I know a lot of people that their parents, even after they like try to confront, they're just cut off for years and years and years. And my parents, like, they do crazy stuff, and like, I try to talk to them, they can be a little disrespectful or whatever, we stop talking, and then they come around, I guess. So I guess in a way it's like, I'm still grateful for the good parts of my parents. I've said that before, but I feel like I need to say it because my mom is sensitive. So
yeah.
If you're seeing this, Mom.
I know. I don't think my mom will ever say this, but I talked a lot of hype about my dad. Mom, you are also very much appreciated, and you're very much in the mix in there. Even though you told me I probably shouldn't do perfusion. even though
that was probably out of a place of protection.
It is, and that's exactly what it is. It's a lot of like good cop, bad cop. Where my dad's like, go for it, like do it. Like, I think you can do it. My mom's like, okay, but like be careful. Like, don't be like disappointed if it doesn't work out.
And so like, for you, sometimes like if you're not in the right space, you might just think, oh, Mom doesn't believe in me.
And that's what I do. I'm like such a self-loathing idiot sometimes.
Bro,
I'm like, my mom hates me. I'm like,
yeah,
no, she doesn't.
Yeah.
Why would your mom, like, my mom does not hate me in one bit.
And
but like, I can talk myself into it for some stupid reason.
And I know there's people out there that don't have any of that, and like, I can hold on to that and say, hey, my parents tried. They weren't the best, but they did a lot better than a lot of parents, and like, I respect that. They did it. They did the best, But it does suck that some people don't get that. Like, I feel bad for that, and like, I'm not blaming it all on our American system, because there's a lot of great things about America and our system today, and the government we have in the way of like democracy. But it does feel like there could be a lot more being done to help American people. I don't know. How do you feel about that? Like, I always bring it back to politics, because politics really do shape our world and our reality more than I think people realize. And so, like, I think a part of my podcast too that I want is like, I want to get people's perspective of politics and like how they view that through their lens,
Yeah. And so in terms of like what the government should do for us, I don't know. I feel like I've been like so defeated on this point where it's like, I feel like I've kind of just come down to the point where it's like, it may just because it's such a big system too, that what they can do on an individual level is like so minute and like so like unmanageable that it's like, I've just kind of lost all expectation.
Do you think you feel like that because you feel like our system is too far from repair?
No, I don't know. Maybe something like AI can repair it. I don't know. Like some super intelligence can create a hyper efficient government that it can actually like as a group of individuals is unable to like, manage 350 million people.
That goes back to your thing though about AI, where it's like, or maybe not your thing, but
are you talking about like biases and stuff like that?
No, not even biases. Like we would have to become like we would have to how you can't convince everyone to do the right thing. Like I don't know how else to say that, but like you could have the super AI bot that creates an optimized and
like tells you the right answer, but like people don't follow it anyways.
Yeah, like they
want to hear what they want to hear.
So like even if right now, let's say that Donald Trump tries to use AI to like fix America. Mm-hmm. And let's say that it is some good shit in there. Like he's really like starts saying some policies that's like gonna help America actually, you know? How long would it take for that to go into effect? Would people be like, oh no, this must be a scam? He wants to, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I guess there does have to be some sort of like proof of concept, which I think like even like something like ChatGPT is like kind of the beginning of that, where people are like a lot more trusting of AI now than I think they were like even like a couple
AI
years.
Like this,
bro, same.
It's my best friend.
It's like
my wife's my best friend, but then AI, you say, dang it, died. Okay, this is the last one. Good. No, you can say what you're gonna say, and then we'll just end with like a couple of ending quotes.
So yeah, what I was saying was.
No.
Oh, not yet.
Can you remember?
Yeah, I can remember.
Because you'll say that, and then I might like just end it off with like a quick, if your last statement for this like kind of thing. I think we got at least 10 minutes. Okay, yeah. Okay, go ahead. What were we saying?
Mic's still good?
Yeah.
Let's check the mics.
Check the mics.
Hello.
Mic 1, 2, 3.
Okay. Yeah, so like there had to, before like there was like wide adopting of like AI, I think there had to be some sort of proof of concept with, I think ChatGPT is like a great intro to that.
Yeah.
Where it's like people obviously trust like Google or like, talking to their Alexa, but now they have like ChatGPT, which like gives them good, accurate, information. And so I feel like that was very important. I wonder what like the next step is going to be, and maybe it is like, I think just the fact that ChatGPT is so popular and so like widely adopted,
and it's
that
very
it would make
useful.
People, and it is very useful, and like useful. People have like a real use case for it. It also feels like it's sometimes making me like dumber in some ways, where it's like I feel like
done studies already that like ChatGPT does make us dumber because it gives us more. It's like I can't remember exactly, but it's basically that we're not exercising more of our basic skills, like writing things down. It's all on there already. Or like, I think it was basically that it was saying that we are losing our memory or something like that. Like our memory capacity or our ability to remember things is kind of decreasing from the use of social media and AI kind of thing. But I think it was specifically AI, but I'm not sure. Fact check that one.
But like, yeah, like sometimes I'll be like trying to write an email to somebody and I'm like, what am I even saying? Like this like sounds so dumb. Like why can I not even write like a good quality email? Like and I can just throw it in ChatGPT. Even just
a couple of sentences.
Yeah. I'm like, why am I struggling to do this? This is so stupid. But then you give it to ChatGPT in 1 second and it like writes me anything better than anything I could have ever wrote.
And like, then that's the tough part. It's like,
it's just better than me.
But then think about this. Like, there is beauty in that imperfection of your email.
That is true.
It's human email, but I think we get so caught up in like being professional, being private, being intelligent, that we forget to just be humans, that we can communicate. And I guess there is like there's a limit to like, you don't want to go too crazy into like trying to be human. You can have some respect and like some professionality, but I think we try too hard to go away from letting people be people. Like we're unique. We come from different regions. We talk different slang and stuff like that. And like you can keep the integrity of an email and the professionality while still exhibiting your humanity and personality. And I feel like we're losing that.
No, we definitely are losing that. And I think that's like the difference between like like if you ask like your grandma, like if I ask my grandma like, oh my gosh, I can't get into school, she'd be like, just go knock on the counselor's door and like go talk to him and like say, I'm not leaving until you give me a job.
And you probably would get in,
bro. And that works when like you're living in a place where like you as an individual are like, I don't know, more seen as an individual, but I feel like now everybody is seen more as like a number,
their own corporation.
Yeah, almost like their own corporation, or as like a number. Like when they see my application, like it's stacked up against 400 other applications. They're not like they don't know anything about you. They just see you as like a piece of paper.
They're not looking at your humanity. They're looking at your accomplishments on a paper, just literally ones and zeros.
Yeah, and that's why I feel like it. I don't know. The moment you start putting in personality, I don't know. Maybe it just doesn't like translate as well as like talking to somebody in person. As like, you know, I could talk in slang on my application, but like. Or like talk how I talk in like my personal statement. Mm-hmm. Like my personal statement is like not how I speak at all.
You know, for sure, because
like,
you got to keep it.
I got to keep it like tight, professional, and like getting to the point. But like if I talked, like if I just did like a voice to chat or like voice to like essay or something.
Hey homie, so I want this job
exactly.
Because I really worked hard. Like you don't understand where I come from.
Yeah, it's like bro, I'm grinding every day like to try to get this, but like that doesn't come through in writing, so so it's like it almost just like dumbs down everybody.
And it's writing. Like we're also losing that human connection or the personal just in person connection.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's why I wanted to start a podcast, because I want to show people you can have conversations with anyone. Like you should have conversations with anyone. Like you can have some pretty fun, good conversations with people, but because we have social media that provides like instant dopamine, there is no need. Your brain literally can't perceive the reason you would go hang out with friends without your phone for more than an hour or two.
Mm-hmm.
Like
it is pretty crazy. And like even like what we're doing now, and it's like I don't know, it sounds dumb, but it's like impressive a little bit, because it's like, I mean, we don't know each other like super well. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like we didn't grow up together. Like we didn't go to college together, but like we can sit down for 2 hours and talk about like anything.
And that's what my podcast is going to be.
Yeah.
Because I love talking to people, bro. I love just getting to know people. And I think I had a realization one time where I was doing a haircut late at night. Not late, but I was doing my last haircut, and then we got caught in the conversation, and we just kept talking after his haircut was done for like another 30 minutes. Mm-hmm. And halfway through the conversation, I just had a thought of like, this is weird that we're just talking. I barely know this guy, and we're talking about random stuff. And then after he leaves, I had another weird thought of like, this is weird that like I just had a full-on conversation with another human that I don't know.
Mm-hmm. But it's also weird that you're thinking that, because that's so normal.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It's weird that it's weird.
Yeah.
And that's weird.
And isn't that, and it feels like that's where we're going, like with like social media and how good it is at like making you feel something, making you feel like you're there. Like even now, like even in this podcast, like the whole point is to make you feel like you're here so you can listen on the go. Mm-hmm. And like, I don't want this to be my end goal. Like, I don't want to just I want to go and talk to people in person, like be a good influence in the world, or like be a positive example of being human in the world. But it's like, you got to start somewhere, and it sucks that like you got to start here or spend a lot of money to get in front of a lot of people, I guess. But
yeah.
Well, just to end it then, that was very fun.
That was
I don't know how you felt, but I felt
good.
I felt good, bro.
I felt good. It's easy to talk to people who are good at having a conversation.
Yes.
Some people you talk to, and it's like, if you can't get a word in, like, maybe it's like that quick dopamine hit that my brain's used to, but I'm always like, oh, I'm already out of this. Like, I'm checking out. Like, this conversation is not lasting.
No, for real. And I think that you saying that made me realize that that's for me where it comes from, where it's like that I'm so used to the quick dopamine 15, 30-second video that even in a conversation, my brain is low-key processing this any conversation as a 15, 30-second video. Mm-hmm. As soon as you go into something and it's boring, my brain is like, okay, you're locked out. Are you going to be able to get back in? Mm-hmm. I start to stress like, oh, am I going to ask good questions? But it's like, no, just enjoy the presence of another human and having a conversation. Mm-hmm. And that's what I want to promote on The Village.
Yeah, be a good person.
Be a good human,
don't
man.
break into people's cars. Please stop breaking into people's cars, and don't break into my car.
For real. This is a
and
student.
Screw you,
this
whoever broke into my car last night. I don't hate you, but I hate what you did.
See, and even that right there, just like hating people is crazy.
Yeah. Hating people is it'll tear yourself up.
No, for real. You hurt yourself more by hating someone. Isn't that crazy?
Dude, no, I'm not even going to go there.
What were you going to say?
There's people who deserve it. But I refuse not to.
I feel that. And there's a difference between like hate for like hating. Oh, I guess you're right. You can hate someone, but you can choose not to, for sure. Mm-hmm. And like pedophiles, rapists, man, they'll never.
Yeah, that's actually true. I do kind of hate them, and I don't know.
See, but I feel like we get that used.
I don't think I can forgive them.
Yeah, but they can change, I guess.
Pause. I'm joking.
Okay, well, this is the last thing I'm gonna ask you.
Okay,
I'm trying to get good at like doing like a little outro.
Yeah.
So you'll be my first, experiment.
Yeah.
If this was the last conversation you had online, like that anyone ever saw of you, or even just like this your last conversation, what is one lesson you would want people to know that you lived, or like what would you want people to know that you think about deeply?
That I think about deeply?
Take your time. Unless my camera dies again.
No, that's a good question.
But
I would say it's ever changing. First off, what
is the Chad being right now? On a daily basis, that really
26 years old. What day is it? Maybe we could come. Maybe I'll come back to this in 10 years.
Or even like the next time you come in, or like when I become big and the podcast is big,
and you totally forget me. And
no, I never forget you, bro. No, but like imagine like my podcast gets big 5 years from now, and we revisit. You're gonna be different. You're gonna be more mature. You're gonna be more successful and more experienced. But for today, and as far as you've come today, what occupies your mind the most right now?
I would say the things they tell you as a kid that seem like very mundane, like the golden rule, like treat others how you want to be treated, and things like honesty and stuff like that seem like so like, I guess like mundane as a kid and not important as a kid, are like those adults are right. The adults aren't always wrong. And it's weird going from like a transitionary stage from being like, a high schooler to like college to leaving college. Like, and a lot of people, and I've talked to a couple people about this, but for some reason I always just thought my parents were like out of touch or something like that. But in reality, they're like they know way more than you could ever know.
They're more in tune.
They're so much more in tune. They have so much more experience, and experience is really key to like doing life correctly. And so I feel like those, like I said, like the golden rule, or like just like being honest, or like having integrity is so much more important than, I guess, I don't even know what I'm saying.
I think I know what you're saying. Like being more honest and being more like good, like having some depth to you as a human is something to strive for, and that like adults try to help kids like think about is like, hey, be a good person, be honest, like
as a kid, you like feel like you run right over those ideas, like you don't, like you trample on them and you like run
you're
right
just
past them.
Trying to live life, you're trying to get that next dopamine hit, trying to feel fun, but it's like slow down to like just
they know what they're talking about.
Be in the present.
Like your grandma knows what she's talking about.
Yeah.
Usually your parents, I mean, they don't always know, but they
and there are some hateful or like
that's true. I don't
bad
know what
people,
I'm saying.
but it's like in a way the only way to make change in the world is through like being good and honest, and you have to trust the people, like trust your caretakers and the people that care about you. And it's like it's so hard because there's so many bad parents and bad people in this world, but like I know what you're saying because we're humans, and kids know. Kids can feel. I feel like kids are smarter than we think, and they really are in tune with their emotions. So it's like if something feels genuinely right to you and that your parents are doing or saying, you should do that. And if not, like definitely question those feelings first, like why you feel that way. But your parents have gone through a lot. And I was actually talking about that with someone that like experience one other quote that I really like is the best teacher in life is experience. Like the only way you're gonna truly become honest or become a more present, deeper thinker and feeler as a human being is by doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Like you gotta do it. I don't know how to explain it. Like
Mm-hmm.
your parents have been through things that made them learn those like attributes, and now they're trying to pass it on to you, but you don't feel that depth. You don't feel that honesty and the importance of that until you get older and realize that, damn, they were kind of right.
And also, I don't know, this seems like so stupid and so mundane, but like being an example in terms of like when I see how like giving my dad was and how absolutely like overwhelmingly generous he has been like in his life, now that I'm like really thinking about it, he never sat me down and was like, you have to be generous. You know what I mean? Like being generous is so important. Being honest is so important. So maybe it's actually not
Lead
them
by
telling
example,
you,
kind
but
of?
like, yeah, leading by example. And because I remember literally, and you know, maybe this will happen with you and your kids. I remember like looking at my dad one day and like standing in my kitchen and watching him do something and being like, whoa, my dad is like super generous. Like, I can't believe he just did that. Like now he has to go do this just for like that person to get like this. Like,
Dang.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
And then like, I don't think I will ever forget that moment. And I think that really cemented something like deep down in me where I'm like, he's doing it right. And I want to be more like him in that way. So I'm going to start acting in this way.
And that goes back to the point of like, kids
I think
are
that's
always watching.
Kids are always watching. And I think it's so much probably more impactful too to like do it and just not say it. So maybe I take that back.
No,
don't listen to your parents. Observe your parents.
No,
and take what they're saying.
No, don't even say take that back. It's more like you even evolved in just like saying it out loud and hearing yourself. You evolved here where it's like, okay, it's not just listen. Don't just do what your parents say, but like
be observant.
Be observant and do what they do. And that's so it's so critical in parenting that parents are also might be out of touch through trauma, through life, the hardships of life, but your kids are always watching. Like,
and it is really as simple as monkey see, monkey do.
Monkey see, monkey. That's how kids literally learn and develop is by seeing them do, not by what they say.
Yeah, they like. I had a little niece that I lived with for a while, and if I had like a new saying that I was saying, she had one too. You know what I mean? Like if she saw I got a reaction out of doing something funny, she now all of a sudden that's her new favorite bit. You know what I mean? Like I did it. You know, so I really noticed that with my niece.
You're definitely set up to be a great dad, bro.
I hope so. I'm not ready. Path, I'm so far away from being ready, but I can't wait. That's
you definitely
true.
have the right
I want to have a lot of
foundation
kids
for sure. Just from our conversations, like, oh yeah, you've got the right foundation to be a good dad. So
I feel like I got a little test run with my niece because I got to see her from the time she was like 1 to like 3 during COVID, and so it's like I got to see like. And we all lived in the same house together. Like it was really nice.
That's my cousin. He lives downstairs. So
yeah.
And we've been here for like 2 years.
So yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Wow.
So
hey, well, thanks for coming on. I'm excited to see how these things turn out. The mic is still on. Wait. Yeah, the mic is still recording. Camera is still on. So I think I did everything right in terms of the technicalities. I think the conversation.
The Village Podcast episode 2 wrapped.
Village Podcast episode. Hey, like that. You know, peace, love, and happiness to all that are watching and all that will watch.
We gotta. You know what you should do is you should do like future predictions. Like how? and then like always like relay back and be like, did these come true?
Let's do some real quick. Maybe that's what I should do. That should be my outro. It's like, okay, and now to end, we're going to do a couple of future predictions, and we'll see how that turns out. So what do you want to do it in sports, in politics, in life, life?
I'll do three different categories. So sports, I love the Seahawks. I think we go to the NFC Championship, and I think we lose to the Lions. That's the first one. I think we lose to the Lions, and that's because I'm being honest, but I think we're in a growth stage. We'll be better next year. Politics, I think this one's interesting. I think a lot of people think J.D. Vance is going to be like the next president or something like that. I think J.D. Vance is like the most like stale cracker, like, or sorry, not cracker, like
stale,
like
it's his own kind.
Yeah,
it's like me saying nigga, so it's okay.
I can say it, but he's just so stale, and like he's just so everything that like I actually despise in politics, of being like a flip-flopping.
Yeah, just follow whatever is gonna
follow
bring
the
him,
money. Yeah, like whatever will get you to the presidency, you'll do. Like spineless. Dang, I will say, dude, he is spineless. And so I think JD Vance will get like blown out of the water. So I am actually interested to see who would get elected next. Hopefully it's I just want somebody younger. But even I don't know.
Bro, I really feel younger is better, because
we don't need any more 70-year-olds. I'm done.
I think I was talking about that we should put a salary cap. We should put an age cap on presidents. It should be like, if you are old enough to receive Social Security, you're automatically exempt. Like you can't. So like maybe like 65.
These people like have 60. No skin in the game.
I would say 60. 60 should be the cap. You should be, once you hit 60, if you already are in the race, then maybe like if you're in the presidential race as a 60-year-old, you're okay. I think 60 is the cap, because you don't know what's going on between the ages of like 18 to 30.
Yeah, I feel like they're so out of touch, and like when you see like these like, I don't know if you've seen it, but like people taking like Google to court, and like all these senators asking questions about like what the internet is, and they're so out of touch. They have no clue what they're even.
And then what's crazy about that is you don't have any emotion towards the majority of America. You're going off of your preconceptions and your experience that have to do with your demographics. So you're not realizing the evolution we have as a younger generation and what we need that will help us and set us up to keep America going.
Yeah, it feels like they're so out of touch. And so I think, it's so bad. We need to get so much younger.
But
and then...
So what was the prediction that JD will not?
JD will be like, not even be close. I think he's going to get blown out of the water. Okay, so he's going to
go for
People think he's going to be the next president for some reason.
So for the sports, I'll say this. I'll say for my sports, I think that... I don't even know. I haven't been in sports in a while.
Are the Lions in the NFC? Maybe I'm completely wrong. I don't even think they're... Are they? Is that even a possible matchup?
The Seahawks will make it there.
I think the Lions will win the Super Bowl.
I think that I don't know what's going on in sports, but I can't make any prediction there.
I might have sounded dumb. I don't even think the Lions are in the NFC.
As far as politics, I think my prediction that I hope doesn't come true is Trump trying to go for a third.
Oh, that would be crazy. The world would blow up.
But I think maybe that won't happen. I don't know.
He might try. No, he will try. That's totally valid.
I think he will try. I think he will try.
But he there's no way. I don't think anybody's messing with him anymore.
And then what's the third one?
Oh, what was the third one? So what was it?
Let's do...
It was sports, politics.
And then do personal prediction.
Personal. Oh, man. Unfortunately, I'm so pessimistic about myself. And like I don't trust anything.
That's a whole another thing we could go into.
My girlfriend hates how pessimistic I am. Like just personally.
Wow. So do you think our video, this episode, is gonna do well online? Be honest. Be honest.
Well, I mean, what's doing well? Like if one person sees that, that's
doing well. I'm saying that at least one of the videos does at least 10K views.
10K? That would be hilarious. I'm trying to think of what it would be. Maybe I should say something crazy. But
do you think that could happen?
Oh yeah, I think it totally could happen.
Okay, so
I think it's especially with like swiping and how easy it is now. Like,
yeah,
I mean it's nowhere near easy, but like to get 10,000 people to do this anymore seems like
true.
It seems like
so then breeze. Yeah, what is one personal prediction?
Personal prediction
in your life, and I would say at least 6 months out.
6 months out. This is one thing I really hope, and now I don't think it would be realistic, like super realistic, but
anything is possible.
Yeah, and this is so personal. And dude, I hate talking about myself. I think it's so cringe. Oh. But I really like doing jujitsu.
Bro, me too.
Really? Do you? Where do you go?
I don't go anywhere, but I think I would be down to go into it.
Dude, well, I go to this place called Wasatch, and Wasatch, I love you, Connie, I love you, but it's not a great gym. And what good gyms are is good training partners. And you guys have bad training partners there who are 14 and try to rip my knee off for no reason. And I can give you some
recommendations. There's two one is by Court McGee.
Yeah, I like Court McGee. Is that a GEMA?
Huh?
Is that a GEMA?
I don't know where it is, but I just had a friend that was there, and I have a client in barbering that's there. Mm-hmm. So you could try that, and they do like a really good job at making sure you're not getting hurt. But
Dude, because I blew up both my knees doing jujitsu. It sucks. I hate my knees are so fried, and I don't have health insurance anymore, so I can't even go get my knees.
What is your prediction though that you're gonna do it?
I want to get my blue belt and they're opening up, and see, this is what I'm excited about. So when I was in San Diego, I was going to 10th Planet, which is like a really respected jujitsu place. And Richie Martinez is the coach there. He's like a really famous black belt. They call him the boogeyman. He's so good. I'm so scared the camera's going to die. So I'll speak a little quick.
No, you're good. I'm just keeping track.
But they're opening up a new one in Orem. In Pleasant Grove, which I live in Pleasant Grove. They're opening up another 10th Planet by this guy named Nate Orchard. And he came, and he has like his own like dead orchard system, which is so good and so interesting to me. And so they're opening it up in Pleasant Grove in a couple months, and I want to go there
and get
my blue belt.
Okay.
It might not be 6 months, it might be 8 months.
We might have to do some videos of jiu-jitsu because I wanted to get into that.
Me and my brother-in-law, Ken, we just did one in Vegas. We did a competition there. We both got smoked. Actually, he didn't get smoked. I got smoked. I got my knee ripped off. Like, dude, like popping and crunching, and while this dude's twisting my knee, I like couldn't walk for like a day.
Damn.
And then, but it was my first ever competition, and so I learned a lot. Dude, I couldn't believe how nervous I was. It was a lot.
Hey, you're gonna get there though, bro.
I think
my
I want to get my blue
prediction
belt
for you is that like you'll get good at it. You'll get way better at jiu-jitsu.
I know it's like one of those things where it's like no one's forcing me to do this.
And my personal prediction is that one of our videos would get at least 10K views.
10K.
So you'll have to come back and we'll have to see if that shit does anything.
Yeah, we'll see. But I'll get all my friends to watch it.
But we appreciate you for tuning into the village, and I hope this was fun. We were just, chatting it up.
Just having fun. This is for fun. Don't take anything we take seriously.
This is all just like our speculation and from our personal experience.
If I'm horribly misinformed,
let us know.
It is what it is.
We're okay to be wrong sometimes.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we're not okay to be wrong. We're okay with correction.
Yeah, we're just a 26 and 27-year-olds who know everything.
We're just kids, like those people that were in the Noxie group chat. We're just kids, bro.
We don't know anything. Thank you guys.
Thank you. Ooh. Peace.
That was fun.
But that was.